How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your ginger Geordie geek. Welcome back to the channel for another Saturday Night Live. And as ever, I am surrounded by the creme de la creme of YouTube. So we'll start off. We're going to start at the bottom tonight, I think, and work our way up. We have got the man with the best mustache on YouTube, Rob Fatstacks. How are you, sir?
I'm Ducky, and I'm sure that you're using that creme de la creme in the loosest possible manner. Either that or you just don't understand French.
You know me, Rob. I'm nothing if not loose. So, you know, yeah, it's always nice to see. And, Rob, you are fresh off another stunning show. We've just been talking backstage here a little bit about the... Am I allowed to say how many minutes in are we? I'm just going to say it. The balls of that gentleman sending a CGC 10.
Yeah, he plays tennis.
Yeah, exactly. To be cracked and signed. I mean...
With basketballs.
Yeah. Have any of you guys got a 10.0? Because I don't know.
No, not a CGC 10.0. I have multiple PGX 10.0s. But no CGCs.
Yeah. You've got one, Efren, have you?
Last year at Comic-Con, I had it signed by Peach Momoko, one of our exclusives.
Yeah. And you got 9.9 at the same time, right?
A 9.9 and a 10. I didn't have them cleaned or pressed or anything. She just signed it, and I just, they had the CGC representative right there, and I just took them to CGC and, just told them, yeah.
What I'm hearing, if, it depends, everybody's collecting habits are different, but if you are the kind of person that's really keen on having a 10.10 in your collection, and it doesn't necessarily what the book is, what I'm hearing is a lot of the distillery books, the big square hardbound books like Jock's Gone and things like that, they're coming back regularly, relatively high chances of you getting a 9.9 or a 10 on those books. So yeah, interesting stuff. We have the main Mowl himself, Dr. Von Hoot. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. I was just thinking, isn't creme de la creme like a type of cheese? Like a spread?
It's the cream top of the cream. Yes, the top of the cream.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But you don't do dairy, do you? So you're kind of the...
Not anymore? No.
Yeah. Well, you well, my friend. You ready for some action?
I'm all right. I'm ready to talk some geeky nonsense because it's been a minute. I haven't been on with you guys for a little bit.
And you've sent me a very, very sexy picture earlier in the day that we're going to show off later on.
Was it a double Polaroid?
It was a double. It was, yeah, and it was I mean...
It would need to be a double at least. Maybe
I did have to get my magnifying glass out. But yeah, it's a sexy thing. We'll show it off later on. Efren, always a pleasure to see you, Efren. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I got to say, bang, bang, Niner gang. I'm surprised Rob didn't say that. But tomorrow, about 3:30, if you're wondering what Rob and I will be doing, we'll be glued to the TV, holding our breath for about 3 hours, probably, watching the Niners in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yelling at the screen.
Yelling and screaming, yes.
Big game tomorrow, isn't it? And we might touch on that a little bit later on, actually.
Yeah.
But it's always a pleasure to see you, Efren. And I am admiring and liking your Wonder Woman statue behind you there. That is very cool. I'm liking
it's from the animated series. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Very cool. Liking it.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we are joined by Luke from Hydra Collectibles. How are you, Luke?
I'm very good. As always, very happy to be here on this wonderful Saturday night.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Lots to get through tonight, ladies and gents. Before we do that, just going to quickly jump into the chat. We've got 18 people watching. Thank you so much. We've got good old StreamYard. Always a pleasure, StreamYard. We've got Phil. How are you doing, Phil? He's pottering in his shed. So he'll not be in the chat, but he's watching the shenanigans. Hope you are well, Phil. And we've got Chris. Good evening. We're all over the world tonight, from US, Canada, Australia, and now back home in Blighty with a mighty spicy favourite show of the night. I like that, Chris. That's good. That rolls off the tongue. And Chris has been drinking. That's nice. I hope you're well, bud. We've got Deadman Terrier.
It does make the show more tolerable.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If you can just phase in and out now and then, do you know what I mean? We've got Terry. I hope you're well, Terry. And we've got Bat Dan. Nice to see you. We've got Chris. Thank you very much for joining. First time tuning in. You are very welcome. Nice to see you. And we have got Jesper from Sweden. Thank you so much for joining. We are international tonight, aren't we? We've got Sean, always a pleasure. And we have got the main man, Fuzzy is back. Tonight's top prize on Triple Bingo is a fondue set. Good luck, kids. I like a good fondue. Chris is saying, I got a 9.9 distillery book from Slab Crusaders. Yeah, that's where I kind of got my news from, mate. There's a fair few of them from Slab Crusaders coming back high grades. So yeah, great books. We've got Lewis, nice to see you. Squarebound always grabs the 9.8s and the 10s. Just like, Batman Damned. That's the first appearance of Batwang, isn't it? I've got that in my collection.
The
but I've
first
not
printing, yeah.
Yeah, I've
I
not
would
sent that
love
off.
first printing 10.0 of Batwang. Like, just it has to be the first printing though.
Does it
Like,
does it put it on the
that's
label?
Because the second printing, it doesn't. It ain't
Yeah.
changed the color. So
Yeah.
that they redid the coloring, so it does,
Yeah.
there is no Batwang.
Do you know what we're talking about, Efren? Oh, you're muted. But yeah, the image of Bruce Wayne's gentleman's bits. Yeah, so I've got that book. I might say, did they actually put it on the cover? Did they put anything on the description?
No.
No, that's a shame. I'll just write it on.
shame.
I'll write it on. What else have we got? Yeah, Fuzzy saying yes, but distillery books are dull as dishwater and they need some. Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest, Fuzzy. That's why I'm saying at the start, if you're the kind of person that just wants a 9.9 or a 10, I don't know that I would bother with a distillery book, the ones I've read so far. But Batwang, I might. I quite like that book. Quite like that book. We've got Comic Collectibles, nice to see, and we have got Wayne, always nice to see you, and Hector's here, nice to see you, my friend. Okay, lots to get through tonight, so let's make a start. As ever, this is where I am. If anybody wants to get in touch, I am over on Twitter, X, all those kind of things, and Instagram, and that's my email address on the bottom there.
You're just a teenage girl, aren't you?
I'm on all of the the technology. Don't know how to use any of it, but I'm definitely on it.
Well, you put your OnlyFans up there, though. I see.
That's private, Rob. That's private.
All right.
Yeah, you've got to pay for that. Okay, first bit of news, and Luke, I am going to come to you to see what you think about this. Before we get to that, I should say, we will be doing a giveaway later on, guys. You'll get 2 opportunities to stick your name in, and it is hashtag free stuff tonight. So stick it in the comments whenever you're ready. Hashtag free stuff. I will remind you again later on before we do the giveaway. And that's for the fondue set, as Fuzzy said. So Luke, Jurassic World number 4. So this kind of news hit last week or the week before that they were definitely going to be doing a Jurassic World Part 4, separate from the previous films. So from what I understand, none of the original cast are coming back. But then it's lost its director this week. I don't know that massively matters, but the director was pretty exciting. He'd done things like Bullet Train and Deadpool 2 previously. So Jurassic World 4, Luke, are you excited?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do a film about dinosaurs, I think Jurassic Park is pretty much the going bet at the moment. That you can't really do anything else with it. You're either going to go back in time with time travel and do an older story, or you're going to bringing dinosaurs back to the current times. And obviously Jurassic Park being the big franchise that it is, it was inevitable that we were going to move on with additional movies. I do like that they're taking the stance on we're going to move forward and it's not going to have the previous characters. So no Sam Neill, no Jeff Goldblum, etc., no Chris Pratt. It's all completely separate. And I'm hoping we do get a bit of a time jump in it as well. I don't want to be too close to where the last one's left off. I want to see a world much further along with dinosaurs inhabiting it. I've always said cross it over with the Fast and the Furious franchise. I think that would be a great laugh.
I mean, that's left field, isn't it? That's
take all my money. Take all my money now.
I'm all in for it.
Yeah.
Now, my biggest concern though is that it's coming around quite fast because they're saying that they're going to release in 2025, and I don't see that happening, especially with them losing their director. This is definitely going to get pushed back. Apparently,
they've been working on it behind the scenes for a long, long time, is what they're saying. Whether that's true or not, because I'm with you. I think a 2025 release is very optimistic. What about the rest of you? Efren, are you a big Jurassic Park man?
When the first 3 came out, I loved it. I went, wow, could this really happen? Could they really make dinosaurs? I was that much into it.
Yeah.
And I'd seen the second 3 sequels. I've seen the first 2. I've never seen the last one. I heard that the director wanted to have more of an input in the movie, and they said we have a script ready, so you can't. Yeah. So maybe I think that's maybe one of the reasons he left. I like what Luke's idea was. If they went far into the future, maybe dinosaurs were the prevailing, they were in charge now, and humans were just trying to survive. Maybe that would be more interesting, but I don't know. I mean, I think 6 is a lot. So unless they come up with something new and that grabs everybody's imagination, I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good point, Ephraim. How about the rest of you guys, Rob and
So
Von Hoot?
what I'm hearing is that Efren wants to do Planet of Dinosaurs
Yes.
instead of
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be a good crossover.
whereas I'm thinking, Luke's just talking so far flung. We might as well be talking about like Jason X and just put the dinosaurs in space on a freaking spaceship. Oh wait, Doctor Who already did that. Never mind. The Jurassic Park has been dead to me since like the second one. After that, I'm like, why do you guys keep nobody learned anything? Why the fact this is such a ridiculous notion that this continues to go on and on that
You're out. Oh, you're out.
I tapped out long ago.
It's not realistic enough for you. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that, look, the first one was realistic enough that humans are stupid and would actually would clone something without thinking about the ramifications of bringing an apex predator like that into being.
I would counter argue that with another franchise that I love that you've also mentioned, which is the Planet of the Apes, particularly the more recent ones with Andy Serkis. Because if they're all just run off into those redwoods and we knew they were there, one plane with a bomb would have got rid of them in no time. To say that the US Army wouldn't have done that.
I don't know, people get a little crazy when it comes to doing stuff on our own soil, but you do this whole notion of that then they don't look the second time they come around and we make some more dinosaurs. Okay, somebody thinks they figured some shit out or whatever, and it goes ape shit, crazy, wrong way. But now you just keep doing this over and over and over and over again, and trying to open a theme park and all this other stupid stuff. I mean, come on.
They need a new change to it, don't they? I mean, I'll come to you next, Dr. Von Hoot, but I'm kind of thinking, I'm still not convinced I've had a movie that's kind of centered on a metropolis. Do you know what I mean? We've had the old scary house in the woods. We've had things like that. We had a little bit of a T-Rex, I think. I can't remember which one it was. Was it Jurassic Park 2 or something, or 3, where it got loose and off the boat or whatever? I kind of want to see it in a suburban area, make it almost a horror. Do you know what I mean? With velociraptors bursting into people's houses.
Wasn't there what? I didn't see it. Wasn't Jurassic Park 3 the original? The original trilogy in downtown New York or something?
It was in San Diego.
San Diego.
Oh, was it?
Didn't you see me there running on the street?
Like I said, it got stupid. I tapped out after the second movie.
Chris is saying he'd love to see T-Rex drift in the streets of LA, but if he had the handbrake extensions, would ruin the cars. Von Hoot, what do you think?
Might have to be a velociraptor to get inside the car.
Yeah, on a bike. Yeah. What do you think, Von Hoot? You're down with Luke's Fast and Furious madness.
I think like what I would like to see is the ridiculous idea of the Fast and the Furious crossover, because the movie that we're inevitably gonna get is just another recycled Jurassic Park. Really, what they should do, honestly, is boil it down to what that movie was very successful at, which is essentially it's a monster movie, and just do a monster movie with dinosaurs, new characters. Doesn't have to turn into a franchise. You ever watch the original Friday the 13th movies? You just do one plot for each of the movies, and they're very, very, very slightly different, but not a lot.
We've
Dinosaurs
got it
on a plane. There you go.
We've got it. We can cross over our Jurassic Park and Planet of the Apes. We could have it. Oh wait, no, that's Godzilla versus King Kong. Never mind.
Can I
nearly had it.
Can I just say that there is something that they could do, especially on like a streaming site or like for a TV show, which is give us a prequel of when they first went back to the island. So the gap in between the first trilogy and the second trilogy. I want to see the soldiers and the people go onto the island, capturing the dinosaurs to put in the new park. That could be an amazing 6 to 8 part series. You'd have all the the wildness of the dinosaurs.
You see, I think 50 Shades of Dinosaurs. Yeah, that would certainly be different.
Oh,
yeah. I think I'm kind of in the middle of you guys. Which is a lovely place to be. I'm bored with the let's make a genetic dinosaur and oh look, it's kind of escaped. I think Rob's right with that. I want a kind of just an action movie. I want dinosaurs let loose. And Luke, that could work on the island, people hunting them down, or like I say, alternatively, the dinosaurs loose and hunting down in suburbia or something like that. Make it more horror, but that's not going to bring them money in,
Or
is it, I guess?
alternatively, let the family deal with it and have Vin Diesel, Mr. Potato Head himself,
Family.
riding around in his car,
Family.
riding into raptors. Why not? It writes itself.
They're going to open up this new Jurassic Park as instead of being an
Ridiculous
amusement
one,
park, it's going to be a hunting preserve, so they can bring in people to hunt big game, and that's their excuse for doing it. And then the
Predator
game
crossover with Jurassic World.
but then the
That would
game
be good.
hunts you.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you could do a Predator movie, just set it like in prehistoric times. You don't need humans for that movie. I'd watch it.
Hang on, let me write down some notes. This might come in handy later.
Yeah. And Louis got a good point here. Can we not just leave Jurassic Park in the past where the dinosaurs belong? It's been a long while since they've had half decent entry in the franchise.
It's still an amazing toy line, and they're still very like it's the first thing you see when you walk into the Smith's toy store. They've got all the Jurassic World dinosaur toys.
Kids
there.
love dinosaurs, don't they?
Yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, you're either going to buy some cheap knockoff dinosaur that everyone can make, or you can have a Jurassic Park dinosaur. And let's face it, the Jurassic Park T-Rex is amazing.
So you can pay extra.
I would pay extra for those T-Rexes.
But what was wrong? You know, when I used to go into the drugstore to the aisle that had some toys, I could pick up molded plastic dinosaurs for $1 a piece or less. That was just fine. I had an imagination. I could play with them. And now instead you want $50 collectibles that I have to put on a shelf and do not touch.
No, you don't have to do that.
I think the fascination is that we all have a fascination with dinosaurs because they were real and they are in our past. And every time you see on the news, you know, a dinosaur has been discovered, it's like, you know, the news, like, oh, wow, it grabs my attention. So, you know, I like that.
Guys, I'm gonna call it here, because we'll have to move on from the dinosaur talk. But the chat has been superb. Now we've got Honey, I Shrunk the Dinosaur. I think that would be. I'm thinking 50 Shades of Dinosaur is pretty cool. But anyway, Efren, I'm going to come to you next for this. We've had some images from Daredevil.
Is that lipstick?
Yeah. So these are the images of the Daredevil costume. Now, bear in mind, these images are from the set, so it hasn't had all of the kind of the shenanigans that goes on post-production. Maybe, I don't know, whatever they're going to do with the costumes and stuff. But that's the Daredevil costume, and that is Bullseye coming back. So this is the guy who played Bullseye in the original Netflix, and I think he played a phenomenal part, I have to say. So, Efren, what do you think of these costumes?
This is the first time I've seen them because I try to avoid them. I'm just done with stuff, like they come out, with scenes from a movie or, like some people who break a story, hey, this is going to be happening. I try to avoid this kind of stuff.
You're definitely on the right show.
Yeah, I know. But hopefully there are some added effects to each of their costumes. I like his mask. I mean, it's got the horns and everything. I thought it was cool. And it seems like they're getting rid of the old school costume that he had, I think, for She-Hulk, which I didn't like at all. I like more the red version. As far as the character on the ride, that cannot be his costume. I think that has to be added, some stuff added to it. So, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed on this. Hopefully Disney will basically get out of the way and let the director do it. Hopefully it will be like a Netflix show. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm surprised we've still not got the DD emblem on the chest, mind.
Yeah. Maybe they'll add it on,
Yeah, maybe. We've got 27 people watching. This is phenomenal. Thank you very much, everybody. Please do hit that like and subscribe to everybody's channels, and that's on the screen, please. Anybody else interested in this? Anybody else got any comments? I mean, the Bullseye costume to me is interesting.
It looks like a morph suit.
Yeah.
Spandex and a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I mean, the guys in the chat are saying Bullseye clearly seems to be based off the Zdarsky run, but it's not quite hit the mark. All they need to do is just put the logo on the mask. Yeah. Is Daredevil fighting Kick-Ass on the show? Bullseye looks crap. Yeah. DD's gonna add CGI. Looks slack down there. No one's watched my JP DVD artwork video. Oh, that's Luke. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think it's interesting, but I'm pleased to see that we've got quite a lot of, of the Netflix characters coming back now. There's been as well not a spoiler, because I think they're not being shy with releasing these images, but there's been an image shared of another character who I'm not going to mention, But again, I wasn't particularly fond of their costume. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. It was no? Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it in case people haven't seen that particular image. But yeah,
Was
interesting.
it from the same show or?
Yeah, same show,
Okay.
same show. But yeah, this is interesting. Sorry.
I was going to say real quick, I hope they bring back Echo for at least one episode, see what's up with her. It'll be pretty interesting.
I would be surprised if they didn't bring her back. Do you know what I mean? That
They
would
should.
be odd. Yeah.
Like, it seems like a weird thing to do to just completely forget about her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking
Yeah,
of
but at the same
completely,
time, that's the whole point of doing the Marvel Spotlight series that they were
so you don't
creating
have to
was
connect.
to say so they don't have to do a connected universe stuff necessarily. They can if they want, but they're not feeling like they have to force a shoehorn something in.
Yeah. Chris just saying so much hope for the show, but it's hard to look past the fact Disney are going to ruin it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Give him a gimp mask and a bottle. Okay. Yeah. So speaking of things that are forgotten, we've got the word now that this is in the toilet. So we talked originally a good few months ago about how it looked like this was going to be canned, and then we got the glimmer of kind of hope for some people that they were trying to sell it on. It's now come out that not even John Cena can save it. It's being shelved completely because Warner Brothers, I think, didn't get the price they were asking for with this. I'm sad about this. I think I would have liked to have seen this. I think it would have just been silly. It's probably not a one I would go to the cinema to see, but I think I could have sat quite happily on my couch and watched it. What do you guys think? Anybody want to comment on this one?
I doubt I would have watched it, honestly, unless I heard really good things.
Yeah.
But it's always sad when somebody's work is just thrown in a bin for no reason. Like, it's just it's not for me particularly, but at the same time, it is for a market of people, and people worked hard on it. I'm sure they did, and it's just,
I think you're right. I think you're right, Ron Hood. I think that's the sad thing, that that the people have invested time in this. I mean, absolutely, I can't judge the entire project because I haven't seen the entire project, but I watched some leaked clips of the Batgirl show that got binned. And you know what? It looked good. It looked interesting. The acting was pretty good, and I'm pretty cheesed off that I never got to see, the version of Firefly and things like that on the screen. And this is going to be the same, isn't it? We're not going to see the light of day with this.
You know what? The irony is that this was the best marketing that this movie could have asked for. Because, again, like Von Hoot says, I don't think anyone cared about this movie up until we learnt that it might be being taken away. And so any company that did put it out, this has been the best advertising they could have asked for because more people would have seen it.
Yeah. Lots of people in the comments saying that it's a big shame. But yeah, at the end of the day, the dollar sign rules, I suppose, doesn't it? And they just didn't get the money they wanted for it. Anybody else want to mention this before we move on? Rob? Sorry. Rob was about to speak.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, I just can't believe how much millions of dollars these studios have just to throw around and waste, so to speak. I heard they wanted like about 75 million if another studio wanted to, show it. But I was like, man, all that money, and I'm sure it's going to be some type of a tax write-off, they're going to have on this. But
That's exactly
I'm sure
it.
the tax write-off is going to amount to how much they spent on this, So.
And obviously, they're going to make more money on the tax write-off. It's worth more than that than it is to sell it.
The tax write-off is apparently 40, but they want 75. And so the fact that they won't even take something closer to the 40, there has to be something more to it because they would rather not sell it and just take the 40 rather than anything less than the 75.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's a shame. The ones who lose out are us, the viewers.
Yeah.
Do we, though? I mean, if it's not good, do we really miss out? I mean, I can think of many films that I wish they'd just binned and never came out, and I could have had those couple hours back.
Could have had that time.
There has to be at least one person who would be disappointed.
Yeah. I think I'm with Hector here. # release the Wiley cut. I love that. I love that. A bit of positivity, guys, and I don't necessarily want your thoughts on this, but I just spotted this news article and I just thought, you know what, that's a nice bit of news, and that's that Christian Bale has apparently been working behind the scenes for a number of years, actually, to build foster homes, 12 foster homes in total. And the aim is that siblings kind of don't get separated in the foster system. This is the kind of story I want to hear from people. Do you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
actually is Bruce Wayne. He's doing something good with his earnings, you know, his money. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't seen this, but that's phenomenal because
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of kids in foster systems, and to be able to have not only a place where the siblings can stay together, but God forbid if it's a stable environment as well
Yeah.
too for them, that's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's really special, and it gave me, like, I did hear about this earlier today, and it, you know, put a proper smile on my face, because if a kid's in a position where he or she has to be separated from their, you know, brothers and sisters, and they've already lost their family, like their parents, it's terrible. And he's investing something like 28 million or something.
Yeah,
like,
it was an obscene
proper
amount of money.
investment.
You know,
These are
And I think fair play to him.
And I think the thing for me that I really liked about this is let's be honest, we've heard some interesting stories about Christian Bale and his passion on set, shall we say. But he's been doing this all kind of under the radar for a number of years. Not singing and dancing about it, not making a bit, he just does it. Do you know what I mean? That for me is quite important.
It's not like he's one of, like, a YouTuber that's giving money to a homeless person with some guy holding a camera next to him.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing this completely, and this is being reported by somebody completely out of his sphere, and he has nothing to do with it, but it's being reported.
Yeah, and this is even like different than where this is really great because I don't know if the term is the same over there, but so here in the States, a foster home is different than, say, an orphanage, right? So an orphanage is where kids end up going, they have no family, whatever, take care of them. Whereas these kids are taken away from their parents because some stuff is going on in their home where the parents aren't taking care of the kids, whether it's drugs, crime, whatever else is abuse that's going on. These kids are taken away by the state from their parents, and their lives are already turned upside down. They don't understand what's going on. And, you know, and then on top of that, you start ripping families apart and, you know, brothers and sisters apart as well, too. So, I mean, these are super vulnerable children, and anything that you can do to help to make that so it, you know, that transition a little bit easier for them, and to hopefully, you know, give them some semblance of normalcy, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I always like it when you actually hear that there are good people out there doing stuff under the radar, not singing and shouting about it and all the rest of it. So I think it's a great thing. We've got GP. Nice to see you, GP. Who the hell told me to read The Boys? It's good. It's a good series. And didn't Mark Miller do something similar? I think that rings a bell. Actually, that rings a bell, mate. But I can't remember the detail. But yeah. After the Netflix deal went through, he was building affordable housing in his hometown for the community. Yeah, I think you might be right. Okie dokie. Now, I know we've talked about Fortnite before, but there's a big Turtles event happening. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hitting Fortnite. You can get them on the platform. You can also get Lego versions of the Turtles are going to be included in this, in a little Lego Splinter. The trailer for this is out now. The trailer's pretty cool. Will it get us to play Fortnite? Will it shite? I don't know about any of you guys. I don't know if you are Fortnite players. Will this
hard pass?
Rob, I can see you playing Fortnite. Are you not a Fortniter?
I am not a Fortnite. Anytime I have a Fortnite comic book, by law on this channel, on my channel, we are just required to tear it up and destroy it. It's just no,
not a fan. How about you, Efren?
I don't even play video games, so I'm just hard
Pong.
pass.
Pong's your kind of level.
Can we get James on here real quick?
Yeah. Now, Luke, I know you're a turtle man. Is this going to entice you to get Fortnite?
No, it's not. But I am glad that the Turtles are still around. You know, that every generation can have their version. So I'm glad that they have made it over to the platform. I made it over to the game. But it's not for me.
Yeah. Von Hood, are you a Turtles fan?
I like Turtles a little bit, but I'm not. Like, I don't have the warm and fuzzies outside of the first movie. Like, I love the first movie. Like, it's quite close to my heart, as it were. But everything else, I just don't really care. The Fortnite, I really don't care. I tried to play it once and just thought, this is cack, and turned it off and deleted it.
So my son used to play it, but I think it's like old hat now or something. I don't know. But I had a go on it not so long ago, and God, it gave us a headache. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't work out what the hell was going on. How dare you? How dare you? He thinks that we're not the target demographic. I mean,
You trying to say they don't want mouths
we're-
on Fortnite?
we're
Come
down
on.
with the kids. We're hip, aren't we?
Well, I have 2 hips.
Yeah. Well, yeah, plastic. Yeah.
No. I'm not that old. They're still my originals.
Yeah, so I'll be leaving this. Rob, gonna come to you for this one because this I don't really understand enough of it. This is the news that Gina is going to sue Disney over the Star Wars firing, which is funded by good old Elon Musk as part of. You remember a while ago he announced this narrative that he was going to back legally and support anybody that's being fired via comments made on his platform, the X platform.
Sure.
What do we think about this?
You know, I think that from a pure workers' rights standpoint, it's good actually, because here you did have somebody who was essentially let go from a franchise because of comments that they made in their personal life. On a granted, it was on a public platform, but still, they weren't. The comments that they made really, what did she do? She made some comments like droid comments about droid noises or something when asked in the section where it said what are your pronouns or something.
Pronouns. She said beep,
I
beep or
mean,
something, didn't
she
she?
didn't.
It's
she didn't
not.
attack.
It's not that one. It's the she posted a meme that compared the conservative Americans to the Jewish Holocaust,
The Holocaust.
which
Okay,
that one ruffled feathers quite hard. The
even look, you're still allowed. This is still America, and I don't know if you know this or not, but we actually fought a war that allowed us to do.
yeah, you
what
bring
we
it up
want,
quite a
more or
lot.
less.
It does happen. Yeah.
Well,
We'll let you win.
we're you know, you may have decided we made you guys spend so much damn money. You just said fuck it, ain't worth it. It's really what happened. But at the end of the day, look, I think you have the right to say, there are certain things that you have the right to say things as long as. And it could be in bad taste and people may not hire you for your next job or something else. And depending on what you do for a living, I understand it may reflect poorly on your employer or whatnot, but it's a question of, is that necessarily a terminationable offense, right? And people in America, a lot of states, including California, are what we call work at will states, where technically they can let you go for any reason. And that's what they like to stand and hide behind. But they say, well, we didn't tell you what the reason was, but we know everyone knows what the reason is, because at the end of the day, you can't use that. It's not a viable defense against everything. So I think it's interesting to challenge it, to see where it goes and start to establish some sort of legal precedence, because we have gotten to a point where even if this particular one is something that people say, hey, this is gone too far, there have been a lot of other instances where people do say something where, and all of a sudden, or they said something years ago and they're completely different. Take James Gunn, right?
Yeah.
And and all these things that come up that people go, oh, well, look, 20 years ago he said, oh, that's gay. Well, 20 years ago it was common freaking language that was being used, and now you can't take that and apply it today, type of thing, and type of stuff. So it's good to start to get some kind of legal basis on this, one way or the other, whether you support her or not.
I think it's an interesting time we're living in, because I hear what you're saying about the freedom of speech, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the courts with this one, because the precedent it sets is going to be really interesting in terms of what happens afterwards. So yeah,
I think
it's an
that's
interesting.
That's what I'm interested in. I personally feel like that Gina probably was out of line and they were justifiable, but I also think that that particularly in America, but here as well, a big company will hide behind that and want to push somebody out, and so it's, as a workers' rights thing, it does seem like an interesting scenario. But it does make me think that she probably doesn't have a hope in hell.
Figure out where. Start to figure out where is that line.
Yeah.
Right. Just like everything else, right? We always say we have freedom of speech, but there are lines. that have been established,
yeah.
things that you can't do. So the question becomes is where are these lines that start to get represented where if you say or do something in your private life that's going to affect your employer can then say, oh, we want to get away from you and distance ourselves from that. So
I would like to see her contract, what her contract says, if there's any stipulations, you can't do this, you can do this, and that'd be.
I know, certainly. I mean, I don't want to get too deep in this, guys, because it's a complex subject. But I certainly know in my, field, medicine, that it's in all of our contracts that we can't do anything outside of work that brings the trust into disrepute or kind of would embarrass the trust.
Yeah.
So we can't say things that could be then used in that.
Exactly the same for me.
Yeah,
Working for Bernardo's and a school, it's it's all in the contract. You can't do things.
And I do agree with Fuzzy's point, and it kind of leads into what you were saying, Rob, as well. I'm a massive believer in free speech, but free speech doesn't mean you don't have consequences for what you say. So
sure,
and I think that's it. That's where this legal element.
But where do those consequences come in? Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to watch, I think. Efren, I want your take on this, because this bit of news has got me really quite excited, and that is the young lad who played Blue Beetle has come out and confirmed that he will be appearing in James Gunn's DC universe sooner than we think. So there's obviously something in motion. Now, I quite enjoyed this movie, and I know you are a fan.
Yeah.
Is this something you're excited about?
Yeah, I read about it, I believe, yesterday, and I was, I'm glad that he's coming back. I really just enjoyed the character. It's just, I enjoyed the whole movie. I am Hispanic also, and just the whole family, the way the family was close knit. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good character. I'm glad they're bringing him back. I'm glad James Gunn has some flexibility, because this, I don't believe this was part of his, under his umbrella, so to speak. It was something different. But yeah, I'm glad they're bringing him back. He reminded me of, obviously it's a different comic book, but it's Peter Parker down in his luck character, and I like that, so hopefully they'll do him good. I'm glad they're bringing him back.
I love the family dynamic. Did anybody else see this movie?
Yeah. It was surprised me. I mean, because I don't think it had the greatest reviews, but I mean, I watched it and I was like, once you realize it, look, this wasn't a made for grand cinema release, right? It's made for streaming stuff. So you gave it certain leeways based on that. I thought it was a fun movie. Obviously I'm more partial to the old school Jay Garrick or not Jay Garrick, Blue Beetle, but I forget the
Dan. Is it Dan Garrick?
Yeah, I don't
Ted
know.
Cord.
Yeah.
Well, Ted Cord.
Ted Cord, but no, Dan Garrett's my. But still, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and I have nothing against it whatsoever.
Yeah.
I thought it was very solid. I only saw it about a month ago for the first time, and I'd heard it was a fun little movie, and it is a fun little movie. It's not groundbreaking. It's just a fun superhero movie, the way they should be, really. It's good family entertainment, I thought.
Popcorn.
And I'm really happy to see him back, because I love that kid from Cobra Kai. He's wonderful. And I really, really love the style of that movie. So give me more. Why not?
And I know you've not seen it yet, Luke, have you? I don't think it's
I
on
have.
stream.
Yeah.
Oh, you have? Oh,
yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, I loved it. Again, like what many of you are already saying, this is what superhero movies should be. Okay, you could argue that they're all origin stories and they're all quite samey, but this is what's enjoyable. This is what got us all into this hobby that we love, whether it be movies, comic books, toys, etc. You need these movies. So, I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it also.
Yeah, that's a good point, because my wife enjoyed this one as well, and she doesn't normally particularly engage with those kind of movies. I cannot deny, it's spoilers, so I apologise, but I can't deny, I was grinning from ear to ear when the Beetle ship was kind of climbing over walls and stuff. I just thought it was a brilliant little sequence, I thought it was really cool, really cool.
And I got hooked with the very end of it too. They gave you that hook for that potential sequel. I'm glad to see that they're going to come back, because that was a great hook.
Yeah, good stuff. Now, this has got us excited as well, guys. I'm a big fan of the Garth Ennis Punisher run, and this is that Garth Ennis is starting a new Max series, and the first little run of it is going to be hunting Nick Fury. Now, it's got us slightly confused, because I thought Nick Fury was dead. So I don't know if this is a kind of a separate reality or whatever. But looking forward to this. I'm a big fan of Garth Ennis's Punisher. Any of you guys going to be picking this up? Is this on your radar?
Nick Fury isn't dead, but he's become like a cosmic entity. So
Right.
I'm not sure what, where there's going to be set in, but I've never heard about storytelling coming on.
I mean, could it not be an Ultimate book?
Might be.
Oh,
It's.
yeah.
I mean, it's been labelled as a Max, and that was the old
Right.
Punisher Max series, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of separate from the Marvel universe, and the imagery looks like it's going to be, old school World War II kind of stuff or something. So who knows? Who knows what we'll get from it?
Yeah.
But Garth Ennis's writing on the Punisher is normally spot on. So yeah. Anybody going to pick this up then? Anybody?
I
interested
am
in
now.
it?
I know about it. Like, it sounds great fun. Yeah.
Hi, Kenneth. Nice to see you, bud. Hope you're well. Moving on, guys. Okay. So we've had a bit of Disney news, and I just thought I'd throw this in here. So first off, we've got Moana 2. I didn't even know they were doing Moana. I knew they were doing a live-action version, but we've got Moana 2 coming out, and we've got Zootopia 2 coming out next year. And then we've got confirmation that we're going to get Toy Story 5 and Frozen number 3 in 2026. Now, I must confess, I am completely lost off with Frozen. I think I saw the second one, but I don't remember anything about it at all, really. Disney type people. Any of this excite any of you guys? Luke?
So my kids love all of these franchises, all of these characters, but they too have started to notice which ones are the good ones, and it's always the earlier movies that are better. I don't see why we need an additional Toy Story film. I can kind of see why they would do another Frozen movie because it's so popular. As for Moana, I don't feel that I love Moana as a standalone movie. I do not feel like we need a second part. I don't want a prequel. I don't want a second part. I feel like that movie was perfect and ended in a nice, perfect way. I don't want any more. But then equally, it's not made for me. It's made for other people.
Yeah.
I'll probably wind up watching it. And if I don't like it, I don't have to ever watch it again. So I'm okay with that.
I don't remember Zootopia, I don't think. Well, is that the fox? Was it a fox?
That's the fox and the rabbit, right? The rabbit's the
Yeah.
police officer and the fox is the... Again, that's one that I came to very late because of the children. The children were watching it. And I just kind of got hooked, watching this fox do all his crafty sneakiness. I kind of jumped into it. It was a good film, not one that I would necessarily go back and rewatch over and over again.
Yeah. Any of the rest of you Disney fans, has this got any of you excited, any of these?
They would have to be really well regarded for me to even think about watching them, honestly. Like, I mean, I liked Toy Story, but even then, like, it's all right. Like, I can't. I just like Frozen 1 was all right, and it was because the kid was at that age that I watched it. I wouldn't have watched it normally, so it's the same thing. It's not for me, and that's fine. Like, it's cool. I'm not the demographic.
Absolutely.
Who knew that 41-year-old mouths weren't, for Disney?
I mean, I think I'll go and see Toy Story. Out of all the ones I've just mentioned, Toy Story is the one that probably appeals to me most. How about you, Efren?
I think I'll wait for most of these to come out on Disney Plus, and if I have some free time, I'll watch it. But the one I would watch would be the Toy Story one. Those are endearing characters who've been around for over 20 years now, I believe. I would like to see that one, But do I need them to be made now?
Yeah, and I think it's fair of what to say that, and I think I think Luke and Von Hoopman have said it absolutely right. These aren't really made for us. This is for a younger generation, which is they'll hopefully, for a lot of people, I guess we've got to remember that this might be their first introduction to Toy Story.
What we got to have is Luke's kids come on the channel when they come on,
do a review,
and we'll see whether it's good or not. That's all we got to do.
Yeah.
We'd have to be a lot earlier than this.
Rob, what about you? Are you a Disney fan? I know you like some of the stuff, don't you? Will these get you to the cinema?
I've not seen any of these other than Toy Story's first two, I think. Again, I'm not the target demographic. Let's be honest. Even my kids aren't the target demographic for this anymore.
The same for me.
So,
I mean, I think I remember watching. Was the last Toy Story the one with Keanu Reeves as a motorcyclist.
As
Okay.
Duke Kaboom. Yeah.
I remember. I think that was kind of our. We went to the cinema as a family to see that, and the kids were probably too old at that point. And I remember thinking, do you know what? This has lost something for me. This has not got the same emotional feel, and that might just be because I'd aged out of it.
And
To
some
be
of the
fair
it
though, the
wasn't the
third
same.
one was a really well done movie that like really wrapped it up. So the fourth one was always going to be a stretch.
That's very true. Very true. Gonna jump to the comments here, guys. Chris Bell, Moana and Toy Story are family favourites. Buzzing for these. Good for you, mate. I hope you and the family enjoy them. Kenneth, Rob, thank you so much for letting me win your giveaway on Wednesday night. I think that says. So yeah, good stuff. Oh, was it today's? Was it good stuff? We've got Wayne. No more Toy Stories. Yeah. Love a lot of Disney. Can't see why Frozen was so big. I thought it was meh. Loved Toy Story. I remember enjoying Frozen, the first one, but I think you're right. I think it got hyped beyond belief, didn't it? Because of the song success and all the rest of it. Chris Rock was in Zootopia. Oh, can't remember. I've seen it, Fuzzy, but I can't remember a thing about it, if I'm honest. Sadly, Disney don't care what we do and don't want. They just know these films will bring in the cash. And I think that's a real interesting point, because Disney, for all it's still a ridiculously profitable company, I guess, it's not had the best couple of years, I guess, in some of its output. So I wonder if they're relying on some of these well-known cash cows for them. Never seen Frozen and stopped at Toy Story 3. God, Fuzzy. Jesus, that makes us old.
You know what,
Toy
though?
Stories in the 1990s.
So that's the other good thing about that franchise of Toy Story, because if you look at that first movie, you can see it was all very new with the animation style and the things that they were doing, and like every kid at that party was Andy. Like if you pause it, they're all Andy. They're all the same child. And to see the progress, even just when they went to the second movie, let alone the third and the fourth, we've come a long way. You know, it's very interesting to look at it from that point of view as well.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. We've got some more information about Fuzzy. We can add that to our character profile.
We're
he's
slowly
41.
building up a kind of a plan of what Fuzzy looks like and how old he is. Yeah. Put that in the log, please, Luke. That's
It's logged.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. And wow, wonder if we'll be around for the remakes. Oh God, that makes us feel old. Yeah.
No, the live action remakes, because that's how
yeah.
Disney do.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Live
You know
action,
what?
live
I'd
action
actually
Toy
be
Story.
more up for a live action Toy Story than any of that other stuff. I
Or
think a
even
live
you could
action
do-
Toy Story
I
could work.
want to. If you do it, it's got to be stop motion with the combined. I want stop
That'd be
motion
cool,
toys
yeah.
combined with live action people.
No, I've
Give me
got
And puppetry,
I've got better.
puppetry as well.
I've
you
got-
could do.
I've got better for you guys. We want to be around when Disney loses its license, like they have with things like Mickey Mouse, and we get the Toy Story horror movie coming out with
We've
Woody
had
and
that.
Buzz
It's Child's
Lightyear.
Play or
Child-
Puppet
yeah,
Master,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
we've had them all.
Doll Man versus
Master.
demonic toys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wayne,
great
live
movies,
action
by the
can
way.
bugger off. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're break point. Just wanted to mention, as I always do, all monies raised in this channel go to mental health charities. And I wanted to say we've hit that threshold mark now, and we're over the 60. In fact, we're nigh on 100. We did a live show. Oh God, was it Monday night or Tuesday night? I can't remember. And it was obscene. We got £55 worth of super chats. So thank you so much to everybody that did that. But also, as I always say, it's great for people who do that. But also a massive thank you to everybody that watches my YouTube crap, because as I can see from my kind of my analytics and whatnot, the ad revenue is ticking along nicely as well. So you don't have to donate. Just watching the videos generates funds. So thank you so much for that. So
Hit that like button though. That
Yeah.
way, it gets the algorithm.
The
to put it in
algorithm
front of
goes,
more
doesn't it?
people to give him more ad revenue, which means more money to go to charity.
Absolutely.
And
Thank
it
you.
costs
for that,
you
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Is the YouTube crap a live stream that I don't know about? Is it
Yeah.
just
I just live stream whenever I can't plan that one. It just kind of whenever the moment takes us.
It's just like Parliament. He sits on a throne and he tries to pass some legislation. He hopes there's no filibuster, and eventually something breaks through committee.
So guys, what we are going to do, is on the 1st of March, which is a Friday night. Myself and Andy from Perpetual Comics are going to be doing a live stream where we're going to do the usual stuff, talking about comic books and things like that. But we're also going to total up at the end of the night how much money we've raised through ads, through super chats and all that up to that point. But we're also going to be auctioning some bits and bobs, some comics and things like that we've got in our collections. I'm going to pick Rob's brains after this show to find out the easiest ways of doing that, because he's an expert with comics curing cancer. But hopefully we'll make it as smooth as possible. So please do stick that in your diaries. That's 1st of March for we're kind of with general chit chat, but also with charity night. At the end of that night, we'll also do a vote, and we'll vote for which charity we're going to give the money to. So look forward to doing that. That should be good fun. Okay, what we've been reading, I wanted to touch briefly on Thundercats #1. I know Von Hoot has read it. Anybody else read it?
Not yet.
I didn't know I could read new comic books.
I've heard very mixed reviews.
Cliff, it absolutely does, mate. It really does. So again, in the analytics, you can see the premiere viewers. So thank you for that. Okay, I'm going to ask Von Hoot in a second to talk about this. My big problem with this was that I'm a massive Thundercats fan. So I probably overhyped this and overexpected this based on how much I enjoyed Transformers 1 by Daniel Warren Johnson recently. Yeah. And then I read this and the artwork didn't blow us away. I've picked some of the best pages here. And I was a little bit critical. And I've done a video about it, but I've gone back and reread it, and I don't know if I'm being fair. I don't know. Von Hoot, what do you think about it?
I think to a degree you're being fair. Like it's middling. Like there's not an awful lot wrong with it outside the art. Like as a story goes, it's fairly tight. It doesn't. You're not confused by anything. Like it's very straightforward. It tells the origin story, and you know, it's fine, and it's got a nice cliffhanger that makes you want to read the second issue, which is important. And I think I'll make my real judgments after the second and third issue of it.
Yeah.
Now it is Dynamite, and my experience with Dynamite has not been great, honestly. Like I love the covers, but often the contents of the comics hasn't been up to par with, say, Image or even DC. It's not it's very like style over substance, but you don't really even have the style in the book. Like the images you've shown here are probably the most exciting bit of the book. And that goes for the art in its dynamicness and everything, and also they make some odd choices with character designs, which you touched on in your video, which hopefully they will kind of redress. I don't know. But I'm reading it. It is not on par with the Energon universe at all. Like it's lower than that, but that's okay. It's a kid's book in theory. Like it's not really giving us anything new either.
You guys have a history of reading Thundercats books, correct?
Yeah.
See, I've never read.
Yeah.
I've never read this book ever, and I'm going to read it, and I'll give you my point of view. See if I like it. I don't know the history of it at all.
That would be great, actually. I think that would be really useful, because I grew up on the comics and the toys and the cartoons in particular.
Yeah,
when you talk about He-Man, Transformers and stuff like that, Thundercats was probably the age where I was most engaged. I love He-Man and Transformers, but I really loved Thundercats. You know, that was my favorite. So I don't know if I went into this expecting too much. Yeah. And you're right, Von Hoot. It's actually marketed as teen books, so it's not for me or for us.
Yeah, but it really should be for us in this case. I mean, it's a nostalgia book at the end of the day. So like we're the age range. Like it's
The other interesting thing, I'm going to have to go back and reread it a third time, because someone commented, I can't remember who it was, someone sent us a message. Snarf's not in it. I don't remember seeing Snarf at all.
That's true. I didn't think about that at all. Yeah.
Rob, are you a Thundercats man?
Oh, I picked up some covers because there's a little. I'm familiar with the nostalgia aspect of it that got me to buy some covers. But I'm a little bit older, and so that was like I remember it being out and on, but it wasn't in my rotation.
Yeah.
It was more like an everyone accidentally walked in the room while my brother was watching
Yeah.
type of thing than what I was watching. So I'm not
So you've not got the nostalgia to it either, really.
not the same amount, right? No, it's like I remember it, but I'm not super. I don't have amazing fond memories. So I picked up a couple. Like I said, I picked up like probably 4 or 5 different covers just because, and then that's probably the end of it. I have no aspirations to pick up issue 2 or anything.
Do us a favor then, because it would be really interesting if you and Efren could just at some point give it a bit of a read and just give her that kind of new person take on it, because I'm interested to know what you think of it. Luke, I know you're a Thundercat man. Maybe it's not as much as He-Man, but you do like the cats, don't you?
Yeah, so again, it's much like with He-Man, it's something that came about in my life much later on than when it first aired. Like it was all the reruns and the things. I haven't read this comic book. I've heard very mixed reviews about it, including from yourself. But I have read Thundercat comics in the past, particularly those from DC. And you mentioned He-Man. There was a great crossover between He-Man and Thundercats, and that artwork was absolutely stunning. So seeing the few pictures that you've shown both here and in your review, I can see why people are upset.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just jumping to the comments, guys. We've got Sean saying Thundercats were just cover buys, and there were a lot to choose from, Sean. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, there were obscene amounts, and I've bought a fair few, but yeah, there were a lot of very nice covers. We've got James T. Hey, nice to see you, James. Hope you're well. He's at work tonight, so nice to see you, bud. Cliff, you're right. I read it early and called it Thundercats No. I like that. Oh, GP, mate. GP, the Tash. That, do you know what? It's silly, the things that impact you. So again, Efren and Rob, Tigra is one of my favourite characters. He's the tiger-based character. And he's been around since the 80s, and for some reason in this book they've given him the most ridiculous looking, massive, bushy handlebar moustache.
It's like mutton chops. Goes all the way down and links up to his, and he's never been represented that way in any of the media.
And I know that shouldn't bother us, but it really, really did.
So all he needs to do is put on some tight leather and always and some
Chaps,
and you expect to see him at one of the bars.
It's bizarre, really bizarre. James is saying that Elvira books are ace. That is very true. I'm enjoying their books. Chris is a fan of the Tash. He messaged us about it. No, it's awful. If it's anyone's fault, it's Dynamite. They chose the artist right now, and we're happy to accept it. Yeah. I do wonder if we will get a change, because I think there's been quite a lot of upset about the
I haven't looked through it, but the images you showing, at least it looks better than some of the Harley Quinn stuff that's come out recently. So, know.
It's very sporadic. There are some good pages and there's some awful pages. It's interesting. Cliff's confirmed Snarf's not in it at all. Yeah.
I see. You mean it's hit interior? There's good pages and bad pages, almost like maybe it was farmed out to a warehouse full of different artists that each turned in a different page potentially.
Yeah. Oh, GP's fighting talk. Transformers 1, read the first issue, it was okay, not mind blown. Again, that might be a nostalgia thing. I loved it, but it might be because I was nostalgic. Von Hoot's saying no, it's definitely superb. GP, you're fired. Fuzzy says they're always second tier. How dare you? We've got the comic verse. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. You mean the awesome Tash, Peter? Come on. Oh, God. The Tash. The stash maketh the man. Yeah,
that is a comment that I can stand behind.
Yeah. Safari Joe does it again. Yeah, I like Safari Joe. Punisher homage. That would be very cool. Okay, guys, have you got anything that you've been reading recently you want to mention or talk about before we move on to what we've been buying?
Nice.
Weird. Did you mention this last week, Rob, or did you show?
Not this one.
All right, is that a different one?
Last week, I don't think I had anything. Yeah. Oh, I'm about halfway through it. It's just like these old sci-fi stories are kind of. It's a different style of storytelling. They're like 8 pages to cram in something, and there's not always a message or some sort of odds. Something that's. I mean, literally, the first story in here is like a couple guys that go to train to become, they're going to be pilots to go to the moon.
Right.
and they have to, everybody's concerned about weight and everything on the rocket ship because they have to have enough fuel to get there and come back, and all these things like you would. And while they're doing their training, the pilot falls in love with the professor who's training them's daughter, and she stows away on the ship because they're super concerned. She's concerned about him coming back, and once they get up, they realize that they've burned too much fuel. And they don't have enough fuel to come back, but maybe if they can get rid of some weight. And to go through, there's nothing in the ship to get rid of weight on anything because it's already been parsed down. So one of them has to go, and the guys are all each trained in only one aspect of the ship's functions.
Naturally.
So it can't be any of them. So they walk her out the airlock, and off she goes. And there you go. That's how love prevails. Is that the moral of the story is don't fall in love, because stay on mission, because no matter what. And yeah.
So classic. Sounds good. I love that old art style.
That's
Very
the kind of
cool.
like story. Some of these stories that are in there that are these types of. You think there's going to be a lesson? No,
There's
it's
not.
just.
Yeah. Ephraim, were you about to say that you
real
read
quick, Rob, pull up that book again. Is that a dinosaur on the cover?
Why, yes, this is Jurassic
Jurassic
Park in the future. So there you are.
Jurassic Park 4.
You remember when
Lovely.
I said, Jurassic Park 10, like Jason in space, it's Jurassic Park in space?
Yeah.
I must have seen this out of the corner of my eyes.
Very cool.
I do have one book. I think you guys are going to talk about it next week, Peter. I think I've seen on Instagram, Blood Commandment.
Yeah.
I really am enjoying that book. So that's been a good book.
So, bit of a shameless plug. Blood Commandment is by Simon. I got his name wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Straczynski.
SD.
Fuzzy Dunlop's personal friend. He's a stunning writer, artist, and he did something epic, but he's been doing this amazing vampire tale, Blood Commandment.
Yeah.
Issue 4 comes out next week. It's the end of the mini series.
Okay.
But he got in touch with myself and the guys over in the Killer Comic Show and sent a preview version of issue 4.
Oh,
so
nice.
we got it this week. It is phenomenal. If you like horror comics, if you like, I'm saying horror. It's about faith and belief as well, and about family and values. It's really, really worth.
Yeah, I've been enjoying that storyline.
Just whilst we're talking about great reads, Fuzzy Dunlop saying Transformers is very good, but it pales in comparison to Beneath the Trees.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Absolutely.
Beneath the Trees 3.
Absolutely, and we'll come on to you in a second. Then I just wanted to little bit of breaking news. I've been in conversation with Patrick, the writer and artist on Beneath the Trees, and he's going to do something with her next month. He's either going to come on one of the live shows and do a bit of an interview, or he might be doing an episode of This Is My. So
Nice.
Really excited for that. So Von Hoot, tell me a little bit about Beneath the Trees.
So Beneath the Trees, where nobody sees,
Especially
is
when she goes down on her knees.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's what it's about. Yeah, that's what it's about. Yeah.
It's a tremendous series of books. We're 3 issues deep at the moment, and it is perfect. Is that the right term? Like, it depends on your particular sensibilities, but the artwork is done in a style like the Animals of Farthing Wood style. Like, it's very, very child friendly looking art.
Yeah.
And it's got a really lovely Dexter-ish serial killer storyline, which is quite unexpected, and everybody should check it out. But they've managed to keep it up as well. That's the thing. Like, the first, second, and third issue have all been really engaging and very entertaining all the way through. You just want to keep reading no matter what. It just takes so long for them to come out. It really
does. You see, I was worried because before I got to issue 3, a friend of mine described it as a filler issue, and I read it and I couldn't disagree more. I think it was perfect. Yes, you didn't have big scenes in it. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't read it yet, but it just continued the story, and I loved the whodunit kind of mystery element to it, and I thought it was great. Absolutely great.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's less spectacular than the first 2 issues, but it's really good. It's not like what else am I reading? The Deviant, also a serial killer book. That's really good too, but that feels like they are maybe drawing it out a little bit. Whereas Beneath the Trees doesn't feel that way at all. Each issue is they've just nailed it. It's one of the best books in forever. Love it.
Got your copy yet, Luke? Because you were waiting on yours coming, weren't you?
No, so I'm still waiting for my copy. And it might sound weird, but I'm refusing to read it online. I wanna hold the book in my hand and read it. But I'm okay from the sounds of it. If this is just a rest before the storm kicks off, I'm okay with that for this issue. I am still of the mindset though that the reason why they're animals is because that's how she perceives herself. Like I think she sees the world that way, and I might be wrong.
You might well
depending
be
on this
right. We'll
episode.
see.
There's got to be something like that, because everybody that's reading it will know that there's one of the main characters is a butcher, and they're quite happily chopping animals up, and people are, and there's big scenes about that in issue 3.
There seems to be animals in it, like regular animals.
Does that need explaining though?
It doesn't. No, I mean, I would love
explanation at the end of the book.
I would love if she just looks in a mirror and just like sees her true self, and then that would be enough for us to make our own mind up. But again, like you say, it's not needed. It's just that's just my theory.
It's interesting stuff. Okay, before we move on to what we've been buying, anybody else want to mention anything we've been reading? No, marvelous. So, what we've been buying, I'm just going to quickly jump to these images that Von Hoot has sent. This Von Hoot is sexy beyond belief. This is diecast. So
have you bought it already, Peter?
I knew nothing about this. So tell us where
I just saw some videos about it today, and it looks amazing. It's by YOLO Park, and it doesn't transform. It's like an action figure style, but you put it together yourself. It's die cast, and you just clip all the bits together, and then it looks absolutely phenomenal. The videos that I've seen just blew me away to the point, because I've always been quite heavily sort of like, I'm not going to get a transformer unless it transforms. But this looks so good, and for the price point, which is it's going to be about 45 quid delivered, and it's big. It's big. It's like a proper scale. I've seen it next to Transformers that I've got over there, and it looks mint. I mean, really, really top stuff.
Fuzzy's just asking price point. What did you say, Von Hoot?
It's 40-ish pounds, plus postage.
I'm getting it. Yeah. I'm definitely.
So you get to pretend you're Teletran 1, putting it
Putting
together.
it together, yeah.
Love it. I love the fact it comes with Megatron. The little Megatron there for him to hold as well. And there's you sent some more images, but the chest opens and the Matrix is in there, and
After you guys build it, you'll put it right next to your nightstand at night. You have one eye open. Is it going to change? Is it going to transform?
Fuzzy's asking how big is it?
Is it? Hang on, I had this up on my phone so I could talk about it.
20 centimeters, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It says,
what's that? Is that 6 inches?
Yeah, 20 centimeters tall. Yeah. Approximately 35 movable joints.
Oh,
wow.
Whatever that means.
Very, very cheap.
8 inches.
8 inches.
Yeah, and I mean it's die cast in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So it's essentially cheap because you're putting it together and they don't have to, which is I'm full for that.
Some assembly required.
Money.
Yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
You guys should.
I've seen you make Lego.
You guys should go live and just put it together. Very pretty cool.
Sorry, what did you say, bud?
You guys should go live and just put it together.
Yeah,
we could race. We each get one and we'll race.
We'll race with it. I'll get frustrated and throw it at the wall or something. Anyone that's seen, like Luke said, anyone that's seen my Lego video knows I have podgy digits, so I don't have the dexterity to be doing Lego and shit like that. But yeah, we'll have a look. Right, chaps, before we move on to tonight's giveaway, just to quickly show off some books that I've picked up, and then we'll see what you guys have been buying recently. So, a few books that are going to go in the giveaway box tonight. We have got The Mandalorian variant cover. Quite a nice cover, that one. I like that one. We've got a Hulk book. Another variant.
Nice.
So, quite like that. I think that's a minor key. Can't remember who he is. Was it Titan or something? I think he was called. Don't know whether I like that one or not. Variant cover for Justice League of America #1. Is that Cates? Yeah, I think that's Donny Cates artwork. We've got an Edge of Spider-Verse variant #1. Jackpot. Don't know who that is.
That's not Mary Jane.
No, it's not. I don't know. I think this is the Spider-Verse version, Efren. So is it not Felicia? What do you call it?
Felicia Hardy.
Cat. It's. Yeah. I think it's Spider Cat or something. Cat.
Oh, Spider Cat.
I'm gonna look.
Of course it is. And we've got a Thor variant. Again, a little
That
magnet.
one is technically a key, right? The
Yeah,
issue number
Black
6.
Winter
That's
or
the Black
something.
Winter. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of those are going in the giveaway box, whilst the rest of the guys are showing you off anything they have picked up. Just whilst we're doing that, just to remind everybody, hashtag free stuff will get you into tonight's giveaway. Hashtag free stuff. Okie dokie. So, have any of you guys got anything you want to show off tonight?
I have a few pieces.
Okay,
Nice.
just give us a second, Luke. I shall
Dinosaur?
make you-
It's not
Turtles?
spider.
Well,
So obviously I can't compete with like the stuff that gets shown by some of the other guys here. My stuff's relatively cheap. But I've picked this up. This was solely a cover buy. I haven't read this series yet. I didn't even know this series was out, but I fell in love with this cover. It's the New Planet of the Apes.
okay.
And this is issue number 2. And yeah, this variant cover, I had to pick it up, had to have it. So I'm now looking for an issue number 1 so that I can start reading. Because again, I know I could read online, but
It's a great little
I do
series.
like holding onto the books.
Is this the series where they go back before the original movie? That's the one I've been
No.
reading right now.
I honestly don't know anything about it other than just picking up the cover.
Okay.
I'll be the first one to admit. And then I took a trip last Sunday down to HMV. And James would have loved this if he was on the show, because I picked up The Last of Us on Blu-ray, which I knew I was going to do the minute the show aired. I absolutely loved this show. Thought it was fantastic. I picked up Interview with the Vampire, which again
Nice.
really surprised me. Really enjoyed this show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
There's a lot of differences to the original source material and the original film, but they work. They make it work. So I highly recommend that. And yeah, I left one behind last Sunday, so I went back to get it today, and that was The Mayfair Witches, also part of the Anne Rice series, tied with Interview the Vampire. Again, this was very surprising, very enjoyable watch. Both of these are currently available to watch on BBC iPlayer and probably elsewhere online if you can find them. So if you haven't seen them, I do highly recommend them. Interview the Vampire, just that little bit better. So
Yeah,
I've not
right.
seen Mayfair Witches. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to watch out for it. Good stuff. Thank you very much, Luke. Efren, you got anything you want to show off?
No.
Von Hoot?
Oh yeah, my Wonder Woman right over here, or wherever it is, right here. My Wonder Woman
Yeah.
statue you're talking about. That's
Very
about
cool.
it.
I miss that animated series, you know.
Yeah.
I really did love the Bruce Timm, wasn't it? The animated back in the day, Justice League Unlimited and things like that was
You guys, did I ever show you my skateboard, my Spider-Man skateboard? Right behind me too. If you guys want to take a
No.
look
Yeah,
at it.
yeah, let's have a look. Don't think I've seen it.
Let's go.
I don't skateboard, but I wanted to buy it. So I
See,
don't know
that's
before.
burst a bubble, Efren, because I was sure you'd be a border.
that's
So
awesome.
that
Yeah,
is,
that is really cool.
absolutely awesome.
I just wanted to get it, you know. So
What's even more awesome, Efren, is that the guy who did that for you, I am pretty sure is a good friend of mine.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank on his name. I was gonna buy some more stuff from him.
Kev, it's Karate Kev.
Kevin, yeah, Karate Kevin. Yeah, I
Oh,
got it from him. Yeah. So
Yeah. So it's a tremendous skateboard. I love that one. Very cool. Von Hoot, you got anything you want to show off?
Yeah, I've got one very important book that came out this very week. I hope everybody has got one.
No, I haven't seen that. I saw you put something about it. So tell me a little bit about that.
So this is an erotic horror novella
Filth.
by Gary B, the casual comic guy.
Ah.
oh wow.
Yeah. He's just released it, and I've read it. It's loads of fun. It's like sort of horror-ish. I know. I mean, I could give you a.
Is it
Horror
filthy?
horse.
Is it filthy?
Oh, it's filthy. Yes,
Oh.
yes. It's proper filth. But yeah, it's good.
Don't leave
And-
it laying around where your kids can pick it up.
No, yeah, don't let them read it. But my copy is probably the only copy that is made in the UK
Oh.
so far that he's sold. Because
Very cool.
these are print on demand from Amazon. You can get it on
Okay.
Kindle as well if you've got a Kindle, and the Kindle is much cheaper. But like it's 29-page novella, and I highly recommend it. I really
Can-
enjoyed reading it.
I don't know if you'll be able to, Von Hoot, but can you put the link in the comments for people to check out?
I can give it a try.
Yeah,
see
good
if I
stuff,
can
mate.
find it.
Looks cool. Rob, you'll not have anything to show off, have you?
Oh, I never buy anything. I don't know. There's like a
Oh,
bunch
I
of
like
angle in
that.
them. Yeah, this was a MegaCon exclusive cover that they had out that I picked up, and then I'm a sucker for Mr. Freeze, and this
it's nice.
Grossetti. This is Raphael Grossetti. This is a reprint of Batman 121,
Right.
but just a phenomenal cover. I had to pick that up. Of course, just
Oh, nice.
picking up these Bronze Age
Yeah.
horror books. Nobody likes those. I mean, it's just
I love those.
Give them away, Rob. You don't want them. Nobody wants them. Man.
Ooh, Witching Hour. I'm getting close. Actually, I'm probably down to maybe only a little more than a dozen of these Witching Hour books. I think I need left.
Wow.
To pick up to complete the run.
I've never read Witching Hour. What are they individual kind of tales?
Yeah, it's just there's like four tales in this one book. It's a little horror anthology, short story type things. Fear from Marvel.
Nice.
That was nice.
I like that.
And this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Love that.
These supernatural thrillers, like the first 6 books are great to have. The other 6 books are like basically all just more living mummy stuff. But in the last book I have to show, the one slab I picked up at a recent show, I've been eyeballing, looking for one of these for a while.
Oh, nice.
I grabbed Detective Comics 411. First Talia,
yeah. Nice.
Wow.
So
at 6.0 is a good grade as well for that book, isn't it?
Well, it's not bad. I mean, it's an older book. It's from 71. It has a lot of black to it. I mean, you can find higher grade books, whatnot, but it's all about finding it the right price and whatnot. Fortunately, I was at a con. The guy, I asked him what he was asking, because I was looking for probably a 6 to a 7, knowing that I didn't want to spend more than $400. Yeah. And he because he had it tagged at like $350. And I was like, oh, okay, that was not awful. I said, so what's my price, though? Because this is a guy I've already bought a bunch of Bronze Age horror books from earlier in the day, and I see him at all these shows all the time. So we've got a relationship. And he just like goes over to me, so $250. I'm like,
wow.
I'm all done.
From what? 250?
350 to 250.
Wow.
Oh, wait, no. 275. 275. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But still. Okay. Yeah, I was like, 275.
That's a good price for that book. I was looking at it earlier in the week. That's
nice. It was a great price, and it was it was a cash price, but that was
nice,
great.
But that's the joy, isn't it, of once you've started to establish a bit of a relationship with dealers who you see, you can have that conversation and that negotiation.
Yeah, I mean, I picked up a stack of Bronze Age horror books from him. I put him in the stack. We added them up, and he goes half price.
Yeah,
I'm paying him cash. He knows what he's paid for them. I get a great deal. He knows that I buy a lot of stuff from him at every show, or I buy things from him all the time. So it's a great relationship. And those are the advantages you get when you go to the conventions versus buying stuff online, right? Is you can, especially the local shows where you can meet those local vendors that you can see over and over and over again, develop those relationships, have that type of rapport. I mean, I went to the show. The guy who's right next to him is another guy I buy from all the time that, they both pretty much sell on eBay and then they go to these shows.
Yeah.
Well, I go through his eBay store and I tell him, oh, I'm interested in this, and this. He pulls it all down and brings it with him to the show. And I had a quarter of a short box for him waiting for me when I got there to just go through it. And I took almost all of it. And I'm like, he goes, gives me a great price on it. He's not paying his stuff. I don't have to pay taxes. I don't have to pay shipping. It's all great.
Everybody wins because he gets some good sales as well. You get some good bargains.
Right.
Yeah. Good stuff. Free stuff.
Free stuff.
Yeah, free stuff. Yeah, free stuff. You're right. Okay, guys, let's run this. So good luck, everybody. And we're off. We'll see who's tonight's winner is. Darkmane, thank you very much. Congratulations, C4 Darkmane. Congratulations on your win. Let's pick you some books. Please do drop us a line via Instagram with your name and address, and we'll get these sent off to you. So, just quickly make myself big. That's Rob. So, Darkmane, you will get a set of DC trading cards. You'll get a copy of The Weeping Blade, which is a brilliant little, you call them ash cans, don't you? Little ash can book by a good pal of mine, Kevin. and it's a great little samurai tale, so you'll get that sent to you. And we'll pick some comics, so I shall pick first, and we'll go from there. Rob,
There. I can't
front
see.
or back?
Oh, back.
Oh, sorry.
7 from the back.
7 from the back. Okay. Sorry, you just can't see. I can't lift it.
Yeah, I couldn't see. I don't know what you were doing.
Luke,
Stop.
front or back?
Back.
And Efren,
100 from the back.
sod off.
Okay. Try this again. Stop.
Front or back?
Front.
Front. I've gone blurry. Oh, can I get it? And Von Hoot.
Put your finger in the middle,
Oh, I feel bad.
right, in the middle, and go 4 back.
4 back.
Yeah, and then go 7 forward.
And
Then
then take
divide
the
that by
front
the
foot.
square root of 2 backwards.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, that one. Yeah.
Right.
I'm
That's,
not that difficult.
that's with 5 books. Okie dokie. So, Darkman, you have got, let's have a look. Oh, an old school
Ooh, nice.
Daredevil.
Well sent Daredevil. Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
issue 51
result.
of Daredevil. That's a nice book.
That's a cool
We've
book.
got that one coming your way.
What's that doing in there, Pete?
Yeah, I know.
Shit. I mean, what's that?
Nice.
We've got a Shazam
Wow.
with some mice.
Are you sure you got the right box?
Shazam
Are you
mice.
pulling out of my giveaway bin? What the hell?
Next. Oh, bit of Scotty Young action. Just put that one in. So, Avengers #1. Bit of Scotty Young. Next. Oh, I love that series. AW Upshot, Not All Robots. Really interesting series. That's an issue #1, premiere issue. And your last book. Oh, I've just fallen it out.
It's now a
last book-
5.0. My
Oh, it's the one we've literally just put in tonight, haven't we? That's that.
That one we thought was a key that you just
yeah.
dropped and smashed on the table.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. There's a bit of Coca-Cola on it, and the corners are fucked, but never mind. Yes. So that is the Hulk. Like I say, it's a bit of a minor key. I think that one. So drop us a line on Instagram. And we will get these over to you as soon as possible, my friend. Congratulations. Okie dokie. Let's move on. And we're moving on now to things we've been watching. And I did send you guys some homework, a couple of trailers and things to watch. I just wanted to briefly touch on this. This is Percy Jackson. Any of you guys been watching this?
No, but I want to. I'm a big fan of the original books, and I like the original 2 movies that they did back. I'm not sure when they made them, but there was some movies a good number of years ago that they made, and I thought they were reasonably good. It was all around the hype of like the Harry Potter era where it all first started.
Yeah. So, so it's really interesting. Sean's in it on his list as well. I'm a big fan of this universe. It kind of surprises us that it's not more popular in some regards, because it's got quite a lot going for it. This little series is a great watch. I'm about, I think, halfway through, and we've just met Ares at the theme park and stuff like that. But the acting in it is spot on, and the the action's
it's popular enough to get a decent Disney show out of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but it should kind of all. I know nothing rivals Harry Potter, but in my mind, it's almost kind of the universe.
right.
Is that kind of good, you know? So yeah, I would recommend people read this. I'm continuing to read through it, really enjoying it. There's lots of people in the chat saying they're
and
reading
the,
it. So
the
it sounds
series is
positive.
good, right?
Yeah,
We're
I'm loving
giving
the
it a
little
thumbs up.
series. Yeah, I'm loving the
Because
series.
there's a wrestler in it, so I am tempted to watch it.
So
Like,
the- So the wrestler, I think, is the guy who plays Ares.
yeah,
And he's very, very good in it. He's very good.
Adam Copeland. Yeah, he was in Vikings for years as well.
So yeah, I would recommend people pick that up and watch that if they get the opportunity. I wanted to mention this. This is my new series. I can view this all day. Just wanted to say the next episode will be about Punisher 89.
I have never seen
it?
that film. I should have done it by now. You really.
So I'm putting these on now each week when we do them, so that people, if they want, can go away and try and watch the movie before we do the review of it coming out. So just to say that Punisher 89 is completely free on YouTube if you do a search for it on
Is it?
YouTube.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that.
I'm really interested in people's thoughts on it because it surprised me. And I'm not going to say whether that's positive or negative, but I think it would be great for you to watch it before we do the review.
Yeah. Is this
Same-
the first time you've seen it as well?
No,
You'd seen it
I've
years
seen
ago.
it when I was much younger, and I've spent
Right.
the last 20 years shitting on it, seeing how crap
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, speaking of that then, so the other side of that is that's on my channel, but over on my other channel with James T. Keegan, One Good Scare, we've recently watched this. This is My Bloody Valentine 3D. I'd never seen this movie before. James is a big fan of it. Again, if you want to,
Did you watch it in 3D?
I didn't unfortunately, but I'm going to.
sad
I am
times.
going to. I'm going to buy the steelbook if there's
Yeah.
one out there. So this will come out next Friday over on the One Good Scare channel. Again, if you want to know what we're talking about, it's worth watching in advance.
Have you
of
seen
that.
the original?
I haven't. No. So
Right.
is the original? Well, we'll talk off the show, but
Yeah.
watch this before we do a review next week. I loved this. Oh god, this was just so stupid, but I loved it. So I asked you guys to watch this. This is the teaser trailer for If, and Randall Park crashes the interview, and basically I think if you haven't watched this original skit in The Office, you might not have understood what was happening. But this is a Mickey take of a scene that he did in The Office. Did you guys get a chance to watch this?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
What did you think?
It was very funny. Very good take. Very good idea for them to do this as part of the trailer. And the trailer itself was actually quite good as well. It was interesting to see.
I'm surprised at how much they committed to this in terms of actually having Randall, on set and things at times. Well, it looks like he's on set. I don't know if it's on CG or whatever. But yeah, it was interesting. Rob, what did you think of it?
I didn't get the joke.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. I think if you're not familiar with this from The Office, it might
Yeah.
kind of go over your head.
It definitely did. It went right around my helmet.
Yeah.
I watched it with Badger,
Yeah.
and she was like, "That's not John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Like that's a completely different guy."
Yeah.
Like she didn't find it funny. Like she was just like, "What's going on? Why are they?" She was just very thoroughly confused by that, and then probably didn't pay any attention to the trailer. So that's probably a bad sign.
And I think that's the big issue. If you're in on the joke, it's probably funny. If you're not in on the joke, you're just sitting thinking, what the hell is this all about? Efren, did you watch it?
I watched it. I didn't know it was part of the show, The Office. That bit, but I thought it was funny. I like Randall Park as an actor overall.
Yeah, he's good.
I didn't know it was part of The Office at all, though.
I'm not sure what I think about this movie. I am going to watch it. I think it looks interesting. Now, something I'm not sure if I'm going to be watching. Knuckles. Now we discovered last week, Rob, that you are not a Sonic man.
No.
Did seeing this trailer just excite the child in you? Were you thinking, I've missed out, I want to see this? This looks great.
No.
I could have predicted that. I mean, it's an interesting trailer, isn't it? I mean, did you get anything from it?
No, to be honest, I got halfway through it and I said, yeah, I'm done.
Not even Idris's dulcet tones could suck you into that show, no?
See, I'm completely opposite to Rob there because I haven't seen Sonic 2, and I saw that trailer and I was like, I really need to see Sonic 2 now. Like this looks amazing.
So I take it you're going to be watching it then.
Yeah, that looked really fun, like a really fun little show.
Look, it's only 6 episodes, I think, isn't it? It's 4 or 5 episodes or something. Luke, how about yourself?
Yeah, so I've watched the first Sonic movie. Again, I haven't seen the second, but my kids have seen both. They absolutely love it. For me personally, I want to see kind of it all the opposite way round. I don't like that these characters are in the real world. I would rather see a fully animated world, like in this style, but have Jim Carrey as Robotnik being the only human character there. So much like the Muppet movies where everyone's a puppet apart from one person. I want that, but in this franchise.
I'm with you, but that would cost a lot more money.
It would,
So
absolutely it would.
that's why they're doing it this way around.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not against the movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. But again, it's very similar to things like Hop and stuff like that. It plays out very samey. And I know that's probably the point for kids' films, but they're all
Let's
very...
be honest. This whole kind of interaction between reality and cartoons, I don't think they've ever topped Roger Rabbit, have they?
Nah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit's a classic. I don't think we've ever moved past that. Efren, has this got you excited? I can see you as a Knuckles man.
I've never seen any Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but seeing this, I mean, it piqued my interest. I go, well, it looks pretty entertaining, but I was a little bit confused. I thought Jim Carrey was going to reprise his role as Dr. Robotnik, but this has nothing to do with this, right?
So Knuckles was a character that was introduced in the last Sonic movie,
Okay.
and now he's got a spin-off movie.
But is Jim Carrey...
Sorry, spin-off show.
Is
so
Jim
no,
Carrey going to be in this one?
No, Jim Carrey's going to be in Sonic 3. This is a side kind of project to that.
Oh, okay.
Now, Efren, I wanted to ask you about this.
Yeah,
It looks okay.
Yeah.
Efren, I think we've talked about it before. Are you a fan of The Quiet Place?
I've never seen the first one
Right.
at all. But
Should,
looking
it's
at
great.
this, I know. Looking at this, I'm going, I got to see it now. I mean, I like this preview because it shows the origin of how it all happened.
Yeah.
And I go, wow, I have got to watch the first one. It looks
Definitely
like a
watch
really
the
good-
first one before you watch
Yeah.
this, is what I'd say.
The first one. I mean, we talked about it last night on another channel on One Good Scare. The emotion in the first movie is just unbearable at times. You know, it's so tense.
Yeah.
Rob, have you seen these movies?
Nope.
This trailer exciting anyway? It's got spacey type aliens and stuff in it.
Yeah, but it's really more of a horror thing. It's not my
Yeah,
thing.
it is. It is very true. It is more of a horror than anything else, I think. Jim Carrey kind of gets on my tootsies. Yeah. Luke, what about you? You a fan of this franchise?
I absolutely love this franchise, and it really caught me off guard when I saw that first movie because I didn't think that I would be interested, and I've actually put it off for a long time. But I'm all in with this franchise. The only thing is that I know this is called Day One, and I hope it is just Day One. I don't want to know too much information about the creatures and about the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want like news. I want it very much like a Night of the Living Dead thing where you're getting little snippets of news as they're learning something, but I don't want to see like the planet where they came from or any, like, I don't want it to go too much that. I just want to see how people deal with it that moment.
It's funny you're saying that because I think the beauty for me of the first and the second movie to a point is that the monsters aren't in your face all the time. It's kind of subtle and they happen now and then kind of thing. I hope this isn't just full on monster horror flick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
you
want to see too
don't get
much.
that from this trailer, though, do you? It does
No.
feel like they're everywhere in this trailer, which is a little bit worrying. But
I'm
you know,
very
it could-
curious to see the moment where someone realizes, be quiet.
yeah,
And then how you communicate that to other people.
Yeah. It's interesting. Sean's saying there, watching this first movie in the cinemas, and the silence was so weird. We were talking on the show last night, and Fuzzy was commenting. For you guys who haven't seen it, basically the premise is the monsters can't see, but they're attracted to noise, so you've got to be silent. And it does so well at building the kind of the atmosphere and stuff. There are scenes where Fuzzy was saying, you know, you're physically holding your breath because you're that immersed in the movie. You know, you don't want to make that noise. Really good
That
series.
first scene with the
Yeah. It's heartbreaking.
it's brilliantly done. Really
Worth a watch.
they're 2 for 2 at the moment. So let's hope we get out the park.
Absolutely.
So wait a minute. Has there been one movie before this or two?
Two.
Oh, wow. Damn, I'm way behind.
Yeah. Thank you, Fuzzy. Appreciate that, mate. More people should watch One Good Scare. Great show last night. Thank you. Really do appreciate you watching, mate.
Never heard of it. Is that a good show or?
It's all right. It's all right. One of the hosts is very, very good. Yeah. The other one's from Ireland. Now, Luke. You asked what to talk about this. This is The Ones Who Live. Before we get into it, I don't know if I'm a bit Walking Dead. I've not watched. You know, there's been. Is it another mini series before this?
They haven't been out here. That's the thing.
Is that why I've not
they
seen
haven't
it?
come out. Like, so we haven't seen any of the spin-offs. There have been 3 of them before
wow.
this that we haven't got.
Yeah.
It's
I have to say,
frustrating.
watched the trailer and I thought, it didn't excite us because I think I'm kind of lost from the world a little bit now. But I'm happy to get back into The Walking Dead, if that makes sense. So I will watch these when they come out. But I don't know if I'm I don't know if it's just moved on a bit. What about the rest of you guys? Who watched this trailer?
I watched it, So I have been watching the sequels, with Daryl when he was in Paris, and when they were in New York with Negan. I always wanted to see what happened to him, the lead guy, And when I was watching the preview, though, I was going, can he just escape and walk away? I was always wondering.
It's a hard mental gymnastic that you have to do to think like he's been gone for what 5 or 6 years in sort of the continuity of it, and he's just been, because he only floated down a river as well. It's not like he was blown into space.
Didn't a helicopter pick him up or something?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, there was a helicopter. Yeah, sorry.
Luke, you're a big fan of this franchise. What do you think? Did the trailer excite you?
Do you know what? The reason why I picked it, so last week I mentioned how I was rereading the Walking Dead comics and going back to that real love for it. Yeah. And it got me thinking about the show. And I knew that this was coming. The trailer's been out for a couple of weeks now. And there was a time where this show was my entire life. Like, this show was my favorite thing on television. And knowing the source material, I always knew that the story could only go a certain way, or the story only made sense a certain way. And the show, though there was plenty of differences, still kind of towed that line for a very long time. Now, I fell out of love with the show in season 9, and it went on for another few seasons. It ended in season 11, I think. I haven't seen those. So
which one was season 9? Just to give me some.
It's basically where it's the that's it, when Rick leaves. Because for me, the story is Rick. So then there was rumors they were going to do a spin-off movie. It then became this TV show, etc., etc. And so I just wanted to follow Rick. And I get what people mean by, can we let the franchise die? I don't think it ever will. I mean, back in the day, it used to be, zombies, it's the Romero films or the B-movie films. Now zombies means Walking Dead. Like, that's just the fact of it. And I think we're going to keep getting spin-off shows in this universe. But for me, this is the bit that I want to see. I want to see the end of Rick's story. And I'm hoping we get an end to this story in this 6-part series. I don't want to go into spoilers about anything else that happened in the show, but I want to see the conclusion of Rick Grimes. That's the most important element to me.
I think this has got to be a success, because you can see they've chucked a big budget at it. So if it's not a success, this could be the kind of the nail in the coffin,
also,
as it were.
I know everyone else doesn't care. It's got Terry Quinn in it, who was John Locke from Lost.
Yeah, I liked him.
He's also in The Rocketeer. He's the guy that built the jetpack and everything.
He's the stepfather. Come on, have some respect.
He's
a good actor.
A fantastic actor. And so I'm really hoping that if he's in this show and the show's successful, maybe he'll come over for Comic-Cons, because I've never actually met him, and I would love to.
He was, to be fair, for me, he was one of the better parts of Lost. I thought his character in particular was very engaging. Rob, you're not a big horror fan, but I know you like your original zombies and things like that. Is this something that excites you?
No, because I only like the Night of Living Dead stuff. I don't like this modern zombie stuff, and was never into any of this Walking Dead stuff. And so it's just like, this is still going on?
Yeah, you kids with your modern zombies.
Look, hey, it's fine. People, look, I'm getting older to the point where I want to watch this old shit. I don't want to watch the new stuff over and over. For whatever
I'm already
reason.
there.
And so I feel like on my dad and my grandfather, right, watching the same John Wayne film over and over again. But that's fine. I don't begrudge people who want to see it. This is what's great about today, is that there's a billion freaking channels and streaming outlets, everything else, and that means that we can have this various types of niche programming, or go on or appeal to different people, or I can go watch the niche old man's channel or whatever. We can all be happy and have what it is, not like the days of yore when we had 3 channels and we had to fight over it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of comments about The Walking Dead here, and it's a bit of a mixed bag. So I'm going to just pick out a few of them here, but lots of people are saying they lost the kind of the way after certain seasons. I was the same. I persevered. A bit like when I watched Lost. I kind of got that far into it that I felt I had to watch it all to the conclusion. And I have to say, the last season of Walking Dead was very, very good. there were some strong horror episodes in
I
there.
was about to say that's how I feel about The Simpsons, and then you said the last season was really, really good. I just feel that after 30-something years or however long it's been going on, that I'm still waiting that, oh no, they're going to write a funny episode one of these days. So I keep watching it every week.
So
You know
I
what?
do.
It's really funny. I don't think I've watched a modern episode of The Simpsons ever.
I definitely haven't. Like, I haven't watched it in years.
Well, there hasn't been anything funny in years, so don't worry about it.
Luke, what were you saying, mate?
I was just going to say, I do feel like the Walking Dead universe will regain its legs again once all characters from the original comic series are no longer part of it. Because I think for a lot of people who loved the comic books, they were upset that the source material wasn't followed. You know,
Right.
not even to the extreme sense. Like, we know changes would be made, but there was so much good stuff that they could have done, and the executives decided to make different decisions.
It's not just that, though. Like, I don't think a lot of people that watched that show did not read the comic, and they're still angry about certain things that happened because they were really, really hastily done. Like, killing Carl was a massive mistake because
I was avoiding
driving
saying it,
point.
but yeah, absolutely, that's the big one.
Wait a
It
second, you mean they
really
killed
ruined it.
Carl? Well, no.
So this was always my argument. You know, if Rick Grimes dies, Carl would carry on, but I don't see Rick carrying on if Carl dies, and that's when I lost interest in the show.
Yeah.
So that for me was the breaking point, and much like Peter said, I hung on for a little bit to see where it was going, but now I just want to see Rick's story come to its conclusion.
My thing about this trailer is that I feel like I should be excited by it, but I'm really not. Like, they don't make Rick seem important in the trailer for a start. Like, it seems very sort of like plodding, and like it's not very heroic. We all loved Rick. Anybody that was a fan of the show was fundamentally a fan of Rick being the lead guy, and then he was taken away from us. And you would want that excitement back, and there isn't excitement for Rick in that.
I mean, I'm going to move on, guys, because we're nearing the 2-hour mark. But I think probably for me, that's my biggest issue with this. You're right, Luke. You know, Rick is the primary character. I've loved him throughout the series, but at some point, and you might say that this is what his character's meant to be like, I don't know. At some point, he just became an absolute bore in terms of a crushed, depressed character who just kind of mopes around and looks like he's ready to die. And that's what I got in this trailer. Again, I'm just kind of looking all solemn and sad, and he's lost his hard man.
I think it's because there's a story arc to his character, and he fulfilled it. Like, so again, without going into too many spoilers, he started off as the family man, then he became the survivor, like the strong leader. Then he became like the farmer of settling down and everything else. And then he became the lawful good, you know, what he ended up doing with the Negan character at the end of all their war with each other. And again, that did kind of ring true because he'd done that because of Carl's death and everything else. And it was good for his character. And that should have been where it ended. But they didn't. They carried it on. And so then it's, what do you do with a character when his arc is already complete?
Kill him.
Kill him. Yeah, kill him. Luke, Fuzzy's very concerned for your well-being. He says
I did notice I am the palest person on this screen.
Yeah, he's asking if we can get you a Mars bar and a space blanket.
Which is ironic when you think about it.
I might suggest, actually, I think it's part of it is your lighting.
Yeah.
Your lighting is very bright, intense on you.
Do you know what it is? It's because I've moved furniture around in this room today. I was saying to Peter before the show, and now everything's off.
Yeah, it's like you need to dim the lighting a little bit or turn it off center so it's not.
Yeah, I can't actually reach it, unfortunately.
Cliff's getting very excited in the comments here. Full caps. Yeah, they did a review. Ty Enna was a great modern era of Simpsons, and then the following year was crap. I'd say I've got no reference.
Oh, a tribute to Edna, I think.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Sean saying not much sun in England at the moment. Well, Lucas, absolutely. Okay, guys, we're coming to the end now. So just the last little thing I wanted to talk about. You Americans have got something exciting happening over the weekend. You've got your superb owl party going on. So I know you're all very excited about
Owl.
Yeah. So I know this is.
I'm surprised you don't have that there,
No,
Dr.
no,
Von
no,
Hoot.
no, yeah. Von Hoot's got it, yeah. I know there's loads of talk about this, and I know you're going to be glued to the TV. For us Brits, a lot of the excitement about this is as usual, is going to be the part-time adverts and all that kind of jazz. And I guess I wanted to touch on that. These are some of the things that are expected.
Wow.
We're going to talk Deadpool 3 in a second, so not to touch on that. But potentially new trailers for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Inside Out, Wicked Part 1, Twisters, Kung Fu Panda 4, Fall Guy, The Family Stallone, which is a TV series, I believe, The Chai, and the Tiger's Apprentice, Knuckles, If, Bob Marley, One Love, and A Quiet Place Day
Before
1.
you go in, can I say one thing about this? First of all, this is the one thing that I really dislike about Super Bowl and stuff, is that the NFL has gone so capitalistic on this whole damn thing that for 25 years now, it's the only championship sports event that I know of globally where people will tune into it. They don't care about the game. It's about everything else. Oh, I want to see the commercials. What else? Who wants to see commercials? I record things so I can fast forward through commercials. They want to watch the halftime show. They want to watch it. They don't. The rest of it's just superfluous.
You say that though, it's quite genius when you think about it, because as you say, every other commercial you skip. So they've managed to make it so that you have to watch for that entire
not just that
period.
It's absolutely brilliant from a commercial standpoint in the fact that they have people watching this event that don't care about the teams that are playing in it.
Absolutely.
Whereas a lot of championship events, it's only people who care are the fans of those two teams and those really hardcore sports fans that don't care who's playing, that just love the sport. This now makes it look, they're talking about how the impact of people who are expected to watch this event simply because Taylor Swift is dating a football player. All these Swifties are now want to watch this damn thing. And it's like, this is crazy. Could you imagine if this happened with like Manchester United? I don't know. That's all. I used up all my soccer knowledge. Sorry.
That's you do.
This happens with my YouTube channel. People just watch the bullshit that I do just to get to the advert.
For me, this feels a little bit like San Diego Comic Con became to an outsider's view.
Yes,
it's about the spectacle of what's going to be. What's the breaking news that's going to be released, and what's the new?
So then it's a letdown if the commercials aren't all, and they're so expensive that some of them haven't gone. There's been less and less of the really crazy, amazing adverts I've noticed over the last several years, and a lot more standard, or they've all been released ahead of time because it cost them so much damn money that it's like,
yeah. So
anyways, I'm sorry.
No, I completely agree with you. It's become more about the spectacle, I think, than the actual game itself. Which I'm not particularly fond of the interest in the game.
It's fine. He made a joke. He's back.
Are any of these of excitement to you? Or any of these things you're thinking, I'd be interested in seeing? Because I'm more interested in that lot. We'll talk Deadpool 3 in a second. I'm really interested in Twisters.
Yeah, me too.
Is that going to be a sequel to the original Twister?
It's a sequel to the original Twister. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's been a while.
Yeah.
That movie. See, I was working at Circuit City back. That was 20.
Long time.
Close. That was almost 30 years ago.
Yeah. They've still. I don't know if it's changed, but they've still got the.
26 years ago.
Was it 2 years? Whenever I was last in Florida, I think it was last year or the year before. They've still got one of the parks, the Twister Experience ride, which has got the characters from it, and you stand in it. It's meant to simulate a Twister. But that's got us quite interested. What about you, Rob? Out of that list, is there anything there that jumps out that you think, I'm going to be interested in seeing?
I'm interested in Deadpool 3, obviously. Yeah. I'll be vaguely curious now that I know that Twisters is a sequel, just because the original Twister has one of my favorite lines of all time in a movie. The Fall Guy, I'll tell you what, once I saw originally, I know it's probably going to be a crap film, But once I saw the painted up modern truck that was painted like the original,
Yeah.
as a kid who grew up watching the original Fall Guy with Lee Majors and stuff, I was all in right then and there.
Yeah, I think the Fall Guy is the one. Otherwise, I don't really care
Yeah.
other than Deadpool 3.
Yeah. The rest of it I don't care about.
Luke, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I'm going to guess.
100%. However, I do set myself a rule, or I try to stick by a rule, which is I only want to ever see 2 trailers for a film before I go and watch it in the cinema, because I always feel like they ruin it or show too much in the 3rd and 4th trailer. So, however this one might be, this might be the last trailer that I watch for this before then going to see it at the
I
cinema.
sort of feel like I've seen the trailer at this point. Like, it doesn't matter whatever
Yeah.
trailer they put out for this, because I know what I'm getting and I'm in already, so whatever.
Yeah, I just don't. They just have a bad habit, don't they, of ruining stuff in
Yeah,
trailers.
showing too much. Showing too much. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that with the Deadpool shenanigans in a bit. Efren, how about yourself? Is anything that's jumping out at you?
I just want to watch a freaking football game. I want to see my Niners hopefully win their 6th Super Bowl. I've been, Rob can, attached to this, from 2010, first the San Francisco Giants won the World Series for 3 years, then the Golden State Warriors. I'm a big sports fan, and the Niners, I want to see them win a Super Bowl. Last one they won was 1995. They've been in 2 other ones, but they've lost. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. And sure, I want to see these trailers, but if I don't see them right then and there, they'll be on YouTube in 2 minutes right after.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Streaming onto YouTube as it happens, probably.
That's how I'm going to watch them.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch them on YouTube.
You guys going to stay up and watch the Super Bowl at all? Because I know it's going to probably be about 11 or 12 o'clock once it comes on over there.
Yeah.
See,
I don't even watch the football over here.
Yeah, I don't watch UK sport. Never mind bloody Super Bowl.
yeah, but this one's got a great story. You see, the one thing about this, I would really want to see not only as a Niners fan do I want to see obviously the Niners win,
Yeah.
but I want to see like Brock Purdy end up getting like the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Because the story with him is a great sports story. First of all, because he was the last player drafted. Remember, it's the NFL again in its weirdness is the only sports league that I know of that actually goes out of their way to make fun of and mock the one of their players.
Yeah.
So every year when they do the draft, the guy who's drafted last, they call him Mr. Irrelevant. Like, you don't matter. And they even make a special jersey up for him. And like, ha ha ha, you're the last person drafted. You were picked last. Ha ha ha. Right? To the point where nobody has given him any respect. All they can think of is, oh, everything must be system. It must be all the other players around you. All the other things is why. So I want him to go out there and just have a game of his life, get the Super Bowl MVP, and be able to sit there and tell everybody, just shut the hell up. And
he's a very humble person. He had a good upbringing with his family. He's just a very quiet person, and I want to see him do well too. Not just because he's a 49ers fan, but I thought it's been ridiculous.
And he's not paid. He's not getting paid squat.
He's not getting paid
because he was the last person drafted. He has the lowest guarantee, rookie contract.
Yeah.
And the way that the contracts are written, the Niners, even if they wanted to, can't restructure his contract to give him more money this next year. They have to wait a whole nother year before they can even give him more money.
Yeah. So me and Rob are going to do another video.
Yeah, I can feel my energy levels dropping as you are talking. I have to be honest. So,
right.
So we'll move on from Super Bowl. Just want to say, Sean's
Superb Owl.
Superb Owl for the Superb Owl party. Sean saying Madam Web's out this week. Completely forgot about that. Is it Valentine's Day? It comes out or something. 14th, I think. Anybody rushing to the cinema?
You know what? I actually really want to see it. Like, I'm really intrigued by it. Like, I know it's going to be
in theaters by yourself, do you?
Yeah.
I do, yes. Yeah.
I mean, I'll go and see it, I think.
I didn't know she was the daughter of Don Johnson, the actor, at all until recently.
No.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
No, me neither. Yeah. Okay, so just to kind of start pulling this together, guys, obviously we're highly expecting that we're going to get the Deadpool 3 trailer tomorrow. I'm excited about this. We've seen loads and loads of leaks. More recently, one of the big leaks has been kind of poo-pooed. The actor who was, I don't want to say it in case people haven't seen it, but one Fuzzy's calling us a dick. Fuzzy says he watches the Super Bowl every year, and I said I don't believe you. So there's going to be lots in the trailer tomorrow. Really excited for it. Fuzzy sent us this information over earlier as well, saying that Marvel Studios has filed 4 new trademarks over the last few days: Deadpool and Friends, Deadpool and Friend, Deadpool and Wolverine, and Deadpool 3. Can't believe that Deadpool 3 wasn't already trademarked. But yeah, what are we hoping to see, guys? Are you wanting... Because I kind of think I would be happy to see the stuff we've seen already, but very little more.
One thing that I did see on the internet which intrigued me, you know that logo you got up there?
Mm-hmm.
That was done by some fan art years ago, and Marvel have just ripped it off completely, and
really
they're using it. Yeah, like
wow.
they were talking lawsuits and stuff in the article I read, but I mean, who knows how far that'll get? But it is intriguing that it's exactly the same logo.
Yeah. Surely they'll get pulled up on that, I would have thought. Sorry, Rob, what were you saying?
I said I want to see that. I'm hoping that this is done like a freaking buddy cop movie. Just
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Wolverine is the straight man. Deadpool's the crazy partner. They're stuck together for some strange reason with I don't know, the boss man telling them, "You guys stop screwing up."
Yes. I want it funny, but not silly.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like so, like Beverly Hills Cop would be a good example of that sort of feel of action film.
But I think
that's a comedy.
I think the Deadpool films have achieved that for me personally.
Yes.
In 1 and 2. It's
It's
funny.
just adding the baddie. Now it's just add the buddy cop element to it.
Yeah. Efren, how about you? Are you excited to see the trailer, or what are you hoping for?
Yeah, I'm going to see this trailer, but then after that, I don't want to see anything else about anything coming up. No more trailers. Just keep it this one, and just no more sneak pictures or anything like that. I'm going to try to stay away from it as much as possible.
Really hope that they keep it tight enough so that they don't give everything away.
Yeah,
like just give us just enough to be excited, but hold back all the surprises and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuzzy's got a great comment there. He'd be happy if they didn't show anything whatsoever and just break the fourth wall and take the piss. Yeah, I'd be down with that. I kind of feel I've seen a lot of this movie already. Hopefully it's from one scene.
Except that here's the thing. This is Disney.
Yeah.
Disney Marvel. And if anything we've learned is that you cannot trust the trailer.
That's true. That is very true.
Disney Marvel.
Yeah. Luke, how about you?
As far as trailers go, I just don't want too many spoilers. So I think that's a great idea that Fuzzy said about just having them sat there, much like the very first snippet that we got of this happening, where they were just sitting on a sofa talking. I think that would be great. But as far as the movie goes, I think we might have discussed this once before, but I really want Hugh Jackman just to be playing Hugh Jackman. Like I want him to be, I want Deadpool to grab him from our universe and bring him along for the ride and put him in the Wolverine costume and all that lot, but have that be the ongoing joke that he's just a regular bloke, that he is just himself. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That could be cool.
Just
like to go with what you were saying, how about if they were, instead of just sitting down and talking, what if they go through this whole trailer and at the end it's basically revealed that that's just all bullshit. It has made an entire trailer of nothing from the actual movie itself. It's just you'll see stuff.
That would be great. Yeah. And thinking about what Luke's saying there, we know, don't we, from is it Deadpool 1, that Hugh Jackman exists in that universe.
Yeah, because he wears the mask and the face. Yeah.
And
if you're gonna do a multiverse film, take our Hugh Jackman and give him the costume and all that lot and take him along for the ride. And he'd just be like, what the hell's going on?
Bring that up as well. Like, I want a real multiverse film instead of that Doctor Strange nonsense. Like, it needs to really span everything. If they're going to do this, like, it needs to really just jump around into all different universes. And
I agree, Von Hood, because I think even though I changed my opinion on multiverse, my biggest criticism of it is that you can't call a film Multiverse of Madness and have it all centered really on one area. Do you know what I mean? We didn't get much of that. Okay, guys, we're at the 2-hour mark. Really interesting. I am looking forward to seeing the trailer at the Superb Owl party tomorrow. I think it's going to be fun. I'm hoping they don't give it too much away. Okay, that's the end of our show. Just wanted to say thank you very much, everybody. This is where you can find me. Got a couple of videos out at the moment. A pile of exclusives from Sad Lemon. We've got the live show we talked about. Well, we somehow started talking about sea monkeys, which was interesting. And we've got my review.
Sea monkeys.
Yeah. Well, James had never heard of them. Andy had never heard of them.
One of my first videos here on YouTube, I bought a pack of sea monkeys. Because it was all to do with the adverts coming from the back of old comic books. I bought X-ray specs as well.
God, I bet they were good.
They were
Fuzzy, this is probably my favourite suggestion. Just Taylor Swift and Elektra having a pillow fight for the trailer. That would be tremendous. So yeah, there's a few videos you can check out over on my channel. Monday night, we have got our spotlight on Predator. So we're going to be looking at the history of the Predator. We're going to look at the movies, the merchandise, the action figures, and recommending some reads. We're also now going to incorporate, used to do a show called What If. So we're going to incorporate that into this show now.
But I'm already doing What If Predator versus Jurassic Park. I've just penned it. I said that earlier. Yeah. Those of you who are paying attention.
So we will be presenting our version of what we think the next Predator movie is. And it's based on the now announced title of Predator Deadlands. So using that title, those of us that are on the show are going to make up our pitch for the Predator movie.
So you're going to discuss the inevitable biopic of Jimmy Savile, are you? Is that the?
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, mate. UK Predators in all their forms. So yeah, looking forward to that on Monday night. Over on One Good Scare Show, last night we had our live show. We talked about a whole host of horror topics, including a review of Baghead, which is not good. We talked a little bit about Predator there, and we talked all the kind of toy and horror releases out at the moment. So please check that out. We've done our review recently of Valentine.
You did a Valentine review. I love that movie. I've got to see it.
It's an interesting one. It's an interesting movie.
No, I mean, I respect the fact that everybody else doesn't love it.
Yeah,
that's fine.
James loves it. I'm not so keen, but yeah, go check that one out. That's a good video. Just to mention, Killer Comic Show. I'm part of the Killer Comic Show team. So Mondays we do our top 10 comic releases. Wednesdays we do Thank Fuck It's Wednesday, where we look at the final order cut-offs, and Thursdays we always do the Killer Comic Show with a number of comic book reviews and all kinds of stuff. So worth checking those shows out. Efren, what's this?
I'm finally coming back with another show of comic culture this Monday at 6:00 our time here in California. And actually, we're going to have expert grading service, EGS Comics, the owner of it, Tony's going to come on with us, just talking about grading books, see what's going on, and my usual stuff, talking about comic books, movies, TV shows, a little bit of sports.
So who's that? EGS?
It's called EGS Comics. They're a grading service, and they're on Instagram. And Dan, who's going on the show with us, he sends his books to him, and he became friends with Tony, and they're going to be on our show this Monday. Just talk about the grading services, what he provides.
I'll check that out. I'll be interested because I don't think I'm familiar with them. Rob, are you familiar with them?
It's a small. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've had Tony on the channel a couple times, reviewing their new slabs when they did that, and had a conversation with him. We exchanged a lot of ideas about their slabs because how they've improved and stuff, and where they should go down the road. But their claim to fame essentially is that they're super customizable. Okay. You can play Barbies with your comics.
Okay.
And you get grader's notes on every book, including 9.8s.
Always good to have some competition for the big boys, isn't it? So I'll check that out. Everyone will be looking forward to seeing that. Okay, what else have we got coming up? What's happening over on Rob Fatstax's channel?
Monday, massive mail haul. Massive mail haul. Thursday, I got a CGC unboxing, and Saturday, I'm back on with only slabs.
Good stuff. Lots of exciting stuff. How about you, Luke? Anything happening over in Hydra Collectibles?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. My latest video is really bombed. Like, no one's watched it. I'm quite upset. I'm quite hurt by that. But as ever, I'm just going to push forward. I can't do anything about it. It's there.
Stiff upper lip at all?
If you haven't already watched it and you're interested, please do go ahead and give that a watch. Otherwise, I'll be putting out a video this Tuesday, Turtle Tuesday, and I'll be going through my Turtle comic collection, my original Mirage series run. So
Excellent.
hopefully that one will do better.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Efren, anything else on your channel you want to mention?
I agree with Luke. Sometimes when I put a video down, nobody watches it. I'm going, dang it, what am I doing wrong now? You know, I hate saying that. You know, I just do my videos because I enjoy them. Tuesday, I'll be on Instagram Live off and on. I'm going back to Disneyland again. Everybody wants
brilliant.
to see stuff about Disneyland. So
Yeah.
I'm going back there again on Tuesday. You know, I'm just checking it out for the day.
Excellent. Oh, look forward to that. And how about the Good Doctor? What's happening over on your channel?
I think that's a really interesting point because James has just said that I'm not subscribed because I didn't know about the Valentine's video. But it does bring up a good point because I'm subscribed to about 900 different channels. I don't often see everybody's content. And by that, I mean, not that I don't watch it. I mean, I don't see that it's there.
Yeah.
So like it says, and everybody should remember this, notification button. Everybody hit the notification button, then you'll know. Because like then I would know, wouldn't I?
I mean, that's a really good point. To be honest, Von Hoot, you've got to hit that bell notification, haven't you, to get.
So I have a video coming up on Monday, which will probably be a Wrestle Crate or a slab. I haven't decided yet. Also, I'll be on with Tony at midnight our time, so in an hour on the Comiverse channel.
Very cool.
And we've got a bit of an announcement, so tune in for more exciting engagement.
Very cool. James is saying flap a wing over that notification bell. Absolutely. We've got Simple Simon in the chat. Thank you very much for joining, bud. We're just wrapping up. But before we leave, I am going to do a kind of a ask people to go and check out one of Simon's latest videos, which was about how can we put it, woke culture and the effect it's having on comic books. It's an interesting little video, so please do go check that out. It's an interesting one. Okay, that's your whack. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. It's been a pleasure as ever. We've had 20 odd people watching most of the night, which is absolutely stunning. So I really do appreciate that. And we'll catch you next time. So take care, everybody. Bye.